right, Fester, I know what you're thinking. Where the hell is Michelle this morning? Because I had teased that Michelle was going to come in today and tomorrow. And for some stupid reason, you call her Meech. I've never heard anybody call her Meech.
Yeah. Well, if you noticed, I actually came into our studio 30 seconds early.
Oh.
Just to have a little time to share with Meech.
Oh,
but,
stop it. I hate that.
But she's not here.
I've known her since 1987, and no one has ever called her Meech.
Yeah, I call people names that nobody else calls them.
Meech.
Yeah.
Just sounds dumb.
No.
All right, welcome, everybody. MJ, Fester. We would have had Michelle here, except her face is worse than usual. Oh, man.
Wow, is that the reason?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What, you think it would be like a mild case of chopped meat on her face?
Oh, well, listen, the result is fantastic. You just got to get through like 3 or 4 days of looking like you were in a car wreck. You're a front seat passenger, vehicle going 75 miles an hour. You fly through the windshield, then onto the pavement, and then you drag your face along the pavement for about 200 yards. And then you end up face first in a lit campfire.
Yes.
And, oh, yeah, it's
that bad.
Yeah, I was going to take a video last night, but I didn't. And then having Michelle sit here, one of the options was, well, it was going to be a dilemma. If Michelle does come in, and also she's a little pilled up as well.
Oh, well, that's the Michelle I want.
Because after the procedure, and I'll fill everyone in, we'll call Michelle later on, but after the procedure, they give you like some oxycodones or hydrocodones or whatever the hell. They give you pain pills.
Okay.
So Michelle had this invasive laser procedure on half her face, and then like in like a week or 10 days, then she goes back for the second half of her face.
Does she look like Two-Face from the Batman movie?
No,
where half of it's burned off and half of it's normal?
It's not Two-Face, or it's not like Putty in the Seinfeld where he's the New Jersey Devils hockey fan with the face painting thing. No. It's upper and then lower. And Michelle's done this before, and the results are fantastic. I mean, people, when I post pictures of Michelle, they're like, oh, my God, look at her skin. She looks so great. Because, Michelle goes through these facial procedures at the dermatological specialists, and she gets the laser and there are names for these procedures that she gets. And, she does microneedling, but then this one, I think she does like once a year or maybe once every 18 months, maybe longer. And this one is really invasive where they burn layers of skin off your face. So literally, it looks like she's been in a house fire. And firefighters rescued her after like second and third degree facial burns, but she's alive. She's alive.
Yesterday, you guys were. I put both of you in this category because I'm like, won't you want a day to recover? And you're like, no, she'll be fine.
Bring her in.
She'll just wear a hat.
I thought it would also be. I thought it'd be a big hook, and we'd juice up the MJ TV numbers if you want to see the horrific accident face that Michelle has with gauze and blood. And listen, let me tell you it was bad last time she had it, but I think it might be a little worse and bloodier this time. But again, once it heals up in like 4 or 5 days,
it looks great.
The result is really good. And that's part of the reason why Michelle looks, I think, amazing. Well, listeners say when I post pictures of Michelle, go to my Instagram, go to Certified MJ Radio, and kind of scroll back and find some pictures of Michelle. Over Christmas, remember she flipped me off on the airplane. We were on a United flight from Tampa to Denver over Christmas, and she flips me off because I was giving her a hard time. She was looking at some kind of googly video screen art graphic soothing colors, some weird thing on the Seatback Entertainment. So scroll back, look at Michelle, and look at the comments. Oh my God, she looks, her face, and
her face. Her pores are so reasonably sized.
Listen to me, women have like emailed me or DM'd me. What does Michelle do for her skin? Well, I'll tell you what. Once every year or 18 months, she goes and has a procedure that looks like she's been in the movie Backdraft. All right? or she was dragged from the bumper of a car face down on I-4 for about 4 miles. All right. Listen, it's been a busy 24 hours. Obviously, the inauguration yesterday.
Nothing more important than Michelle's face procedure.
Yeah, I wanted to. That was top. So
number one thing.
Inauguration yesterday. Got a couple of things. Do I get into heavy politics on this show? I don't. I did that for 22 years with another simultaneous show that I did, and I decided to exit the political game because it was wearing me out. But I do have a couple of observations that are really not political per se, but just kind of interesting, in some cases humorous. Doesn't mean that I don't have some very heavy-duty opinions about certain things that have happened, but I decided I'm not doing it on this show. This show is an escape. So I decided that the MJ Morning Show, this time around, this iteration, that we were going to be, pretty much, politics-free from, and you know what? I like it. I really enjoy not having, because, listen, our audience, it's going to be 50-50. So if you say
something about one guy, you pick off half the people.
Piss off, exactly. Yeah. So I try not to get into the. Listen, we deal with some heavy stuff on the show, but the politics have become so divisive in this country that this is not the outlet. But a couple of inauguration, interesting sidebar items.
Yeah, there's plenty of things to talk about for what happened yesterday. Have nothing to do with actual politics.
You see, Mark Zuckerberg caught looking.
I saw Mark.
Oh, my God. I mean, how obvious was that?
Hey, who can blame him? I'd be looking, too.
The question is, was that sort of disrespectful garb from Bezos's fiancée? Hey, we'll get into that coming up in just... Oh, and Fester.
Yes.
Did you place a bet on the college football playoff national championship game last night? You said that you were going to potentially place a bet. Ohio State, the Buccaneers, and the Fighting Irish, Notre Dame.
Ohio State, the Buckeyes.
What did I say?
Not the Buccaneers.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Buccaneers.
They do go by the Bucks, but they use a K. Go Bucks.
All right, I'm sorry.
The Ohio State Buckeyes.
I meant the Buckeyes. I'm used to saying Buccaneers.
Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Yes. I told you yesterday I would not be placing a bet because I do not wager anything on games that Notre Dame plays in.
Oh, that's right, you did, because you're afraid of the Pope.
If you're going to be a degenerate gambler, you got to have some rules, and that's my only rule.
Yeah, because
don't bet in games that Notre Dame is playing.
Notre Dame's a Catholic school, and the Pope would be very unhappy with you.
I'm doing enough to piss off God. I don't know that I need to bet against or for a team that he roots for.
Anyway, if you were a Notre Dame fan, sucky day for you, because the Buccaneers, the Ohio State Buccaneers, they clobbered Notre Dame. Notre Dame, came back a little bit, but I mean, it was looking ugly for a while. It was looking fugly for a while.
The first quarter and the fourth quarter were the most exciting. The other two, just Ohio State kicked their butts. All right, so college is over.
Where was God to help?
Oh no, God doesn't
Fighting
have,
Irish.
Unlike what every athlete seems to think on interview time,
right? God
has nothing to do with the outcome of football games.
He stays out of that.
He doesn't care.
So gets involved in other things, but not in.
Care.
Oh, I got you. All right. We're just rolling. It's going to be a busy Tuesday on the MJ Morning Show. 6:09. Traffic's on. MJ Morning Show back in minutes. You don't want to miss a thing of this broadcast.
There's a...
101.7 FM. I put something new up on Instagram yesterday. Actually, I got a couple of things in the last, 24, 36 hours. Yeah, so on my IG, I posted a new MJ germaphobia thing regarding my trip to Fort Lauderdale and back over the weekend. So I'll mention this quickly now for the early crowd, and then I will get into it in more depth. Probably 7:30, 8 o'clock or so. Oh, speaking of 7:30, Dennis Phillips will join us. So Dennis Phillips, DPL, Dennis Phillips Live, ABC Action News. He'll join us regarding the cold weather and hey, there's going to be snow in northern Florida.
Really?
Yeah, there's going to be, inches of snow, Panama City, Tallahassee could get snow. And they're even talking about maybe some freezing pellets, here in the Tampa Bay area, a little further north, maybe Citrus, Levy, and the villages could get, not accumulation, but
a dusting?
Yeah, well, no, not really. Like ice pellets or sleety kind of stuff. But it's going to be cold again, and snow is going to hit Florida. So we'll talk to Dennis Phillips about that. But there's something else with Dennis Phillips. He was out of commission for I think a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
He was off TV, man. He got clobbered. He had all kinds of stuff hit him.
Does he know what it was?
Yeah. Yeah, he had the flu and all kind. I think he had COVID and the flu at the same time. It was what the hell can you throw at me? All right, and then he sent me a text. I think he lost 10 pounds or something. Holy crap! The suspenders were probably all loose on him.
He had to readjust the buckle.
So Dennis Phillips joins us at 7:30. Yeah, a little bit of the interesting weather crap, and then, just his personal, I think he had a miserable Christmas, which kind of sucks.
He loves Christmas more than anybody I know.
Because he's got the huge display in conjunction with his neighborhood in Palm Harbor. So Dennis Phillips joins us at 7:30. Oh, so for the early crowd, regarding my Instagram and, I think a valid germophobic expose, I've been flying Spirit Airlines quite a bit. And you know what? They've met my expectations. The one thing I've learned with Spirit is never take the latest flight out of Fort Lauderdale because that one has been delayed 2 to 3 hours every time. So never take the 10 p.m. flight out.
That's a good tip.
For whatever reason, that Spirit flight from Fort Lauderdale back to Tampa, the late night, I've been hosed and screwed on that one every single time. So I've learned to take the early flight. All the early flights seem to run on time with Spirit Airlines.
But the last one, they just don't seem to care as much.
Yeah, it's always a problem. The crew is, stuck here. We got to bring another crew in, whatever the story is. Pilot, pilot didn't feel, who knows? Weather here, but affected, weather not here, but affected somewhere else. Who knows? But let me tell you about the little Germy thing that I posted, just a quick little mention, and then I'll get into this in more depth, might even take some phone calls. So a lot of the airlines, when you're at the gate and your boarding group has been called and you're about to board the airplane, you either show them the paper ticket and you scan it on the device, or use the mobile boarding pass, the app on your phone. You got the mobile boarding pass, and you put it on the little screen, and it goes beep, and then, you're cleared to, go on the airplane. For whatever reason, I've noticed that Spirit gate agents, they all want to grab your phone, and they're waiting for you to hand them your phone so they can scan it, almost like they feel that Spirit passengers are too dumb to put the barcode down on the barcode reader.
I've done that before, but I think I've held my phone. Yeah, I've never handed the whole phone over.
I've always held my phone, but Spirit, they want your phone. And I took video because I was boarding group 5. I was the last boarding group, and listen, I got a little tiny carry-on, goes under my seat. I don't need overhead space. I don't pay for the overhead space. So I wait until the very end to board, when I fly Spirit. And I sat in a spot where I was right on the side, and I was able to shoot some video and showing like all the passengers handing the gate agent their phone. And I don't want to do that. Could you imagine? I mean, you got a gate agent that just touched 125, 130 phones?
Ew.
And I'm accounting for some of the people do have the paper boarding passes, but most people use the phone.
In this video, I don't think anybody uses the paper pass. I watched it a couple of times.
Yeah, it's like all phones. And it's like, my God, don't touch my phone after you just touched 100 other phones. Phones are filthy. All right, I'll get into this later on. The video, if you want to see the video, it's on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. Go take a look at it, Certified MJ Radio. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, give me a follow because you'll get amazing germophobic content like that. But I want to get into this a little later on, maybe take a couple of phone calls. Got a couple of questions for the listening audience. So a few minutes ago, I asked, are you a 5-hour person? And what does that mean?
Oh, my gosh. I'm trying to think of things that I do for 5 hours besides talk on a radio show.
Yeah, 5-hour person. What do you think?
It's not doing it, is it?
Oh,
I'm not a 5-minute person.
Will you stop it? I don't want to think about that.
I mean,
all right, come on. You're not doing it for 5 hours.
That's why I'm curious.
I don't care.
I want to know about that guy.
Porn stars aren't doing it for 5 hours.
I want to take tips from that guy.
Maybe they are, but start and stop, and they're on the set, and
start and stop.
Start and stop.
Cut.
Maybe you're shooting a movie or something.
All right, go back to your trailer. You got to clean the set.
All right.
Is it sleep?
It is. So it is. It's sleep. And I was reading an interesting story about the people that only need 5 hours. And I've always kind of fell into that category. When I was younger, high school, I would love a, solid, 7, 8, 9 hour sleep night, but or even college. But as an adult, and I guess working into the morning radio routine, somehow I got into a mode where I don't need 7, 8, 9 hours. First of all, I can't tell you the last time that I've slept more than 7 hours. On the weekend, sometimes I can eke out 7 hours. Or on vacation. I'm busting my butt all day, skiing, for instance. And then maybe
I got to hit the hay and get my 7 hours
maybe I'll get 7 hours, on a rare occasion, maybe 8, where I don't have to set the alarm. But typically, even if there are no, constraints, there are no parameters on when I need to get up, like setting an alarm, typically, even if I'm tired, I go to sleep, usually I'm up with 5.5 or 6 hours sleep.
Yeah.
For the most part, if there's no alarm set and I don't have to be up, I still wake up after 6 hours.
Your body's conditioned for that, even though it uses an alarm most days.
I think the whole morning radio thing kind of conditioned. And I saw this interesting piece, the people who only need 5 hours sleep. And it goes into a couple of case studies, some individuals. And it's called a short sleeper. What is a short sleeper?
Well, now they got to insult your height, too. Boy, they're taking every jab they can at you, man. I wouldn't stand for this if I were you.
We used to think people could be divided into two chronotypes. Morning larks who naturally wake up early, and then the night owls who love to stay up late, burning midnight oil. But a new study has found that a select group of people might be both. And for these super sleepers, the idea that we all need 8 hours of sleep a night to perform our best is a freaking crock of crap. It's a lie. It's a myth.
There's that point in sleep where you actually wake up more tired.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But you know what? That sort of happened to me when I was younger, where you would sleep too long and you'd get the slept too long grogginess. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it just takes a little bit longer to get into your routine or get into your day.
You know what? That seemed to end in my 20s, though. I haven't had that. I slept too long grogginess. Yeah, That hasn't happened to me in a very long time. Anyway, no, it's just interesting that you just listen, just like you have different, body types. You've got, people with different physical capabilities, different mental capabilities. You're gonna have people that need more sleep than others. I mean, this is like some huge revelation. I think have we known this?
Yeah. I've gotten texts from you or emails from you at like 1:45 in the morning for the next day's show. And we're up at 4:45.
With me, what has happened is as I've gotten older, though, I'll cop a little bit of a longer nap during the day. So I might, lay down at like 1 p.m., have some lunch, then lay down and maybe, sleep 1 to 2, maybe sleep an hour. But, typically, and this is also remarkable, when I sleep for my like afternoon nap, when I take a little nappy poo and I get my little blankie.
Yeah.
I will set the stopwatch on my phone. And just as I'm laying down, I'll set the stopwatch so I can see how long I slept. And you know what's remarkable?
It's always within a couple of seconds.
It's remarkable that usually my naps last almost exactly 45 minutes.
Wow.
And it's like I look at the watch, up 45 minutes, up 43 minutes, up 44 minutes. It's all within like a couple of minutes of 45 minutes when I lay down for a nap. Most of the time. Sometimes I'll eke an hour, but usually it's right around 45 minutes. It's like clockwork, literally. So I don't know what the hell that means. I guess it's just a conditioned body clock, circadian rhythm, whatever the hell you want to call it. All right, 6:32 at the MJ Morning Show. When we get back, it's Morons in the News on the MJ Morning Show. My favorite. People love it. The idiots, the morons in the news, and it's next here on the MJ Morning Show. My friend... You go to the Home Depot and you ask, where are the morons? You'll find a guy in an orange smock with his name written with a black Sharpie. And you say, where can I find the morons in the news? And he'll tell you, aisle 6, MJ Morning Show. You like that little dramatization?
I mean, I always kind of thought it was cool how they wrote their names in black marker on the smock.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No.
Looks real do-it-yourselfy.
Yeah. All right, 6:42 at the MJ Morning Show. Early morons of the news. Another imbecile on a United Airlines flight. This happened I guess the story is a couple of days old, but I just want to bring it up because this is just like a public service announcement. Don't mix Xanax with alcohol because you could end up squirting pee all over the aisle and the seats and other passengers.
Yeah.
And that's what you don't want to do. Oh, man. United Airlines passenger did just that. Mixed Xanax. Trying to, calm their nerves, flying, long flight. This was a transatlantic deal. So this United guy flying from Amsterdam to Newark.
It's a long flight, right?
Yeah, Newark-bound flight, Amsterdam. And listen, you're going against the jet stream, so, going to Europe from the United States typically is a little faster. Listen, just like when you go west, it's typically longer than when you fly to the east because, again, the jet stream and the chance of picking up a nice tailwind. So this passenger mixes Xanax with alcohol on a United flight from Amsterdam to Newark and was hit with a $10,000 fine for whizzing all over United Flight 71. The captain had to dump more than $30,000 worth of jet fuel.
Why?
Because they needed to make an emergency landing because of his behavior. So
was it a short runway?
Well,
you couldn't land with fuel?
No, it's weight. So a lot of times on the big wide-body jets, they have the ability to dump fuel. Like a 737 or an Airbus 320, they don't have the ability to dump fuel. So if there's a real emergency, they just got to put it down heavy. But in a lot of cases, sometimes they'll have to fly and burn off fuel if they need to make an unscheduled landing early. But the plane landed in Dublin. So it's Amsterdam headed to Newark, and they diverted to Dublin, not even getting, really anywhere, they got a little bit over the water, I guess, England, the channel, whatever between, Ireland. So they were over the water a little bit, but they ended up having to dump $30,000 worth of fuel. And they do it through little these, I guess, ports on the wings where they like a spray can come out and they can dump fuel in there.
It's a 1 hour and 40 flight, 1 hour and 40-minute flight from Amsterdam to Dublin.
Okay,
that is really early in this.
Oh, it is
8-hour trip.
It would have been an 8.5 hour flight, typically, I would imagine. Yeah. So the individual Zachary Griar, an American climate analyst.
Yes.
Offered the Dublin District Court his most sincere apology, saying that he was horrified and embarrassed by his actions. And he tried to suggest that, hey, he was on Xanax and the alcohol and it didn't mix quite right. 34-year-old guy pleaded guilty to intoxication, unruly behavior. Guy was peeing all over the aisle, the seats, other passengers. Oh, my God.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Ireland's national police got on board. He was so intoxicated that he couldn't understand even where he was. Didn't even know he was on an airplane. Holy crap.
It's not that he was intoxicated. It was the Xanax that fogged him out.
It was the combination of the alcohol and the Xanax.
How drunk was he?
Well, apparently.
Pretty stinking drunk.
Yeah. So just remember that. If you're going to take something to calm your nerves down, why don't you stay off the alcohol? Because the interaction of the alcohol and the pill might not be good. Listen, even people without alcohol, sometimes you get people like Ambiens that, go nutso or whatever on these flights. All right, next. I thought this was old and busted. I guess not. You know those thieves that have those specially modified vans or trailers where they go to gas stations and they pull their vehicles on top of the gas filler caps in the ground. What do you call them? The
gas filler things. Yeah,
but
right.
what's the word?
The gas inputs.
Where
the gas goes in the ground, where the truck goes.
Exactly.
Where he puts the hose into the ground. We've all seen it.
Yeah,
before.
the tanker truck pulls up and they take those manhole cover looking things or the little metal circular covers.
And then there's a connection and they drop the gas into the ground.
Yeah, it's the inlet for the fuel tank in the ground for the gas station.
The inlet. Good word.
Well, yeah. Well, listen, there have been a rash of issues, and this kind of goes back over 15 years. I remember hearing about this in the past, but it's still going on, where people have modified vehicles. They'll have a van, and they'll have fuel tanks inside the van, and they'll have a trap door in the bottom of the vehicle, or like a trailer, like the lawn and gardening trailers, the enclosed ones.
And you have a big tank in there and a little pump.
And you got a pump, and then you have a trap door, and you pull right over the top of the fuel intakes in the ground, and then you take the trap door off, and then you have access to the parking lot below. Then you take the lids off, and then you stick the hoses into the ground. You pump the fuel out of the ground. And, well, just happened again. A guy was arrested. Cops said they caught him stealing nearly 300 gallons of diesel fuel from an Ocala gas station. Yeah, this happened in the last week. In the release, the Ocala Police Department announced that officers were called to the racetrack about 9:30 p.m. Upon arrival, officers found the man identified as Juan Abreu Reyes, 35, stealing 294 gallons of fuel worth over $1,000 using a modified minivan that he had equipped with a siphoning tube and pump. After officers ordered Abreu Reyes to exit the van, he tried to flee in the vehicle, later caught on foot. Ultimately, he was caught by one of the canines. Ocala police sent a snarling canine, took the guy down.
Dude, this happened again recently, kind of closer to Tampa Bay within the last week.
And
it shows a picture of the inside of the van.
Yeah.
What an intricate operation.
Oh, yeah. Like a whole plastic barrel and a pump and hoses.
Maybe it's not that intricate, but it takes up a lot of space.
The vehicle of this individual was unregistered and contained multiple storage containers for fuel. There were two 50-gallon drums and a large tank in the back of the minivan that appeared to be filled with fuel, as well as large hoses, two large batteries. An image shared by the Ocala police showed a modified minivan. It was taken into custody. The clerks at gas stations, they're taught to look out for this, to kind of look out and make sure, because they know
if you're parked over the inlets, the gas manhole covers,
lids. I'm still not
receivers.
No, that's not. That's
the gas receivers.
That's the dumb. It's not. That's the dumbest name. No,
they receive the gas from the truck. That's not the dumbest name. I mean, Fartburger would be the dumbest name. I mean, it's not the dumbest. It's not a good one, but it's not the worst.
No, it's the metal manhole covers in the parking lot. The fuel tanks are filled by the gas tankers.
How do we not have a truck driver hauling fuel right now who can't tell us what that's called? There's somebody listening right now driving a fuel truck.
We're missing the obvious,
it's right
easy
there.
name. I'm like, for whatever reason, I can't come up with the actual name of the fuel tank covers, in the ground. Anyway, this has happened. I've heard these stories for a long time. But, again, gas station attendants, I'm sure are told, hey, where the caps are in the ground for the fuel trucks to fill the in-ground tanks for the gas station. You got to look for any suspicious vehicles that just kind of stop and park right on top of these things, or, a trailer. But there are folks who have been doing this for years, trying to rip fuel off out of the ground. And obviously the cops were called. Hey, I'm calling from the racetrack. There's a guy in a van sitting right on top of our fuel intakes in the parking lot. And then the cops show up and they're like, yep. And they just caught him red-handed.
I tell you right now, MJ.
300 gallons of diesel fuel.
I know you're a pizza connoisseur.
Yep.
Don't sleep on Racetrack's pizza.
Let me tell you right now, I am not doing. There's no gas station pizza that's good. I'm telling you right now, there's no gas station pizza on the planet that would satisfy me.
Are you sure?
I'm telling you right now.
This looks pretty good.
No, it does not. I'm looking at the picture of the Racetrack pizza on the website, and it looks horrible.
They got a big sale going on right now.
I'm sure they are.
You buy one piece, you get a second piece for $1.
There you go.
You can't beat it.
Yeah, listen. There's no pizza, dude. I don't even want Domino's, Papa John's, or what else is there out there? Pizza Hut. Come on.
Listen, they
Come
got
on.
cheese,
Don't-
pepperoni, sausage, or sausage and pepperoni.
Don't get me started with my pizza. Just knock it off. Don't recommend gas station pizza to me. That's sacrilegious.
Of the gas station pizzas, this is one of the better ones.
Yeah, okay.
If it's his own category.
Yeah. I'm sorry. There's no let me repeat. There is no gas station pizza that I will find edible.
Wawa has pizza too now after 4 o'clock.
Like I said, there is no gas station pizza that is going to fulfill and satisfy my pizza palate. All right, 6:53 at the MJ Morning Show. Early morons in the news. On
what? The $4.99 meal deal? Two slices of pizza and a big drink?
Stop it.
That sounds like a deal.
Stop it. Let me tell you what a deal is. The deal is... Hey, let me ask you a question. 7:02, it's the MJ Morning Show. Welcome, everyone, to the 7 o'clock hour. Of course, a nice, meaty segment right now, but then the real mamma jamma. What are you laughing at?
I mean, this is the meaty one, but the mamma jamma is coming up. You are correct.
The mamma jamma of MJ Morning Show content. An hour and 20 minutes plus of nonstop MJ Morning Show happens about 7:25 this morning, somewhere in that vicinity. That's an hour and 20 minutes plus. No music, no commercials, just nonstop MJ Morning Show. Quality entertainment. Hey, let me run something by you. You tell me if I'm a weirdo freako.
All right.
Or if you get the same thrill. You know, I might go to phones on this.
You said thrill?
Yeah. Do you get like a weird satisfaction with a firmware update?
No, not at all.
Whether it's your phone or a computer, or I just updated my two dive computers. I've got a Shearwater, Teric watch dive computer.
Yes,
and then I've got a Perdix too. Like a wrist mounted computer. I always dive with two computers, on long trips and a lot of dives. And I I updated the firmware. Both computers had firmware updates. And whether, again, it's my phone, there's just something that compels me. And I can't wait, even if it's like bedtime and I should be going to sleep. It's like once I know there's a firmware update,
You have to wait for it with excitement.
I got to do it. So typically in the first week of every month, the Google update is out. The Android update is out for my Google phone.
All right.
So I've got a Google Pixel 8 Pro. And again, right around the first week or first 10 days of the month, here comes the monthly security update. And let's say I'm going to bed. Let's say it's midnight and I'm going to bed. And I go to the system information and I check to see if there's an update. And then it says searching. And then it goes preparing update. And you get and it's like, oh my God, there's an update. It's available. And
then it keeps you from going to bed because you're just watching it?
Oh, yeah.
1%?
I can't not.
2% now?
I can't not install it. I've got like this firmware fetish. Does anyone else have this? Seriously. Clearly you don't.
No,
you're a tech wreck.
Well, that's not that right? So much that is that I don't want to know the change. I just get used to the last update, and now they're going to change it again.
Right. Can anyone listening identify with my my weird? I don't think that I'm weird. I think that there are many people in the same boat with me.
No.
That once you find out that there's a firmware update to your electronics, you got to do it like right then and there.
Yeah, weird people don't think they're weird.
There's a weird satisfaction to the firmware update on the device, whatever it is, my dive computer, my cell phone, the Windows up, whatever it is. Am I alone here, or are there other like firmware freakos that are out there? Just out of curiosity, am I identifying with anybody else, or are you identifying with me?
No, you identify as a firmware freako by yourself, apparently.
So, I'm all alone out there? There are no other firmware update freakos out there like me?
If anything, it's a hassle because for that period of time, it disables your phone. It disables the communication a lot of the times.
You know what? If you're a firmware freako, if you can identify with what I'm saying, could you help me out here? Can you back me up? Or do you just want to call me a freak face? And call me just a mental wreck that needs a checkup from the neck up.
You need that too.
All right, 800. Let's just delve. Let's just see. Let me just toss this out there. Any thoughts on this? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Anybody? I hear the phone's ringing. Because we have the door open because it's hot as monkey balls in here today.
You might be able to hear the phone in the background.
Can you imagine? It's like what's the temperature out there today? Was it like 48 degrees?
Yeah.
What's our temp right now?
It's really
47.
chilly.
Here in St. Pete, my phone is showing 47 degrees, and it's hot as monkey balls in our studio.
It's so
I don't
cool
get
outside that the thermostat doesn't recognize. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Yeah. So we got the door open, and then Andrew's got his door open. All right. It buzzed me up. Can you identify with what I'm saying about you're like magnetically attracted to the firmware update on your phone, and even if it delays you going to bed, and like a 20-minute download process, then another 20-minute installation process, you can't not do it. All right, Kevin, and if you have any thoughts on this,
I hope he's on your side.
Or if you want to call me an absolute mental nut job, you could do that too. But I'm telling you, I know that there are people that identify with this. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. How about Kevin and Brandon? Kevin, hey, you're on the MJ Morning Show on 104.7 FM Q105. Hello.
Hey, good morning, sir. How are you?
Yes, Kevin, I'm doing well. Welcome.
Hey, so I personally wait until I have to do the update, and I think that your fetish isn't with the updates. I think your fetish is with finding all the bugs from the updates.
Oh.
'Cause how many times do you do an update, and then you sit there and there's new bugs in it that you got to deal with?
I don't know.
Well, you know what? Typically, every once in a while you get a bad update, or or they let something slip through, or they didn't test it well. But usually these days, I haven't gotten many buggy updates, but it does happen. But Kevin, thank you very much. I appreciate you checking in. Stacy is phoning in from Plant City. Stacy, what do you think of my firmware fetish?
I don't disagree with you. I think, updates are fun sometimes.
Yeah.
But I am married to a person that absolutely denies an update.
Oh.
He will turn his phone off. He won't update it. He just thinks it's going to tear something up.
Yeah. Well, listen, the last caller, Kevin also said that he waits until the last minute. Once I know there's a firmware update for the phone or any other piece of my electronics, I've got to do it. I have to drop everything. If I were at a funeral, I would probably walk out of the funeral to do the update.
I mean, they're not going anywhere.
but everybody has their little things in life.
All right. Well, Stacy, thank you for checking in. Jessica in Largo. Jessica, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Good morning. I do the updates, but not right then and there. I schedule mine because I'm a busy mom. I work, and I've got 2 kids.
Am I alone in
I
this?
schedule mine to do in the middle of the night.
No, I got it. Jessica, I seem to be alone here.
You are. Nobody gets accepted.
Only people are calling in that are not agreeing with me and having to drop everything and having this weird satisfaction about having a firmware update.
This anxious anticipation that you have for this update.
Sorry.
Nobody else shares. Jessica doesn't share it.
All right. Well, Jessica, no one's supporting me.
None of them. Not one.
I'm just a mental defect.
You are.
All right. Thank you. All right, that's it, Andrew. Just cut it off there. Just cut off the limb right there. Lose a limb to save a life.
That's right. Let's save the life of this show and lose this limb.
All right. How do you feel about people out in public wearing profane slogans or verbiage on clothing? Where do you stand on people in public with blatantly obscene clothing, like the F-bomb? And you see people walking around. It's like, come on, what? What rock did you crawl out from under? Where is it acceptable to walk through Best Buy or Publix or the mall, and you got this big F this or bleep that,
So
yes.
I like and I support freedom of expression, and I like people being a little quirky and edgy, and I happen to be one of the most prolific cursors in the history of humanity. But people who wear clothing like that, I believe, are looking for some kind of attention, or they want to try to make you feel a way when they have no business really interfering in your life in any capacity.
They're trying to tweak you. They're trying to get a reaction.
Yeah. And they're trying to make you feel something, and that's maybe their way of getting one over on you or inflicting their will on you. But I don't have any piece of clothing that has any profanity on it or anything like that. And then I remember somebody gave me a shirt and it had a punchline on it with the F word on it, and I threw it away as soon as they turned their back. Unitard gave me a shirt.
Oh, wait, how long ago?
A year and a half. He came by the radio station and he goes, "Hey, I saw this and I thought of you." And it had this really vile joke on it. I'm like, "This is what made you think of me?"
Wait a minute, what was the joke?
It was like, it's really graphic. It's a joke, not a male body part. Don't take it so hard or something like that. Really graphic. I'm like, what am I gonna do with this? I threw it away. I mean, I have no use or need for anything like that.
There was an incident on a Spirit Airlines flight. Yeah, tell calls. I'll be right there.
Planes, Disneyland.
Yeah. Well, but a lot of places will they'll extricate you from the situation. They'll eject you. So airplanes, airlines, again, Disney,
amusement parks like that.
Universal. I've heard stories of people wearing inappropriate, and it's not just like low-cut stuff or, Daisy Dukes, and some like Disney's tossed out people for just, very revealing clothing. But if you've got some inappropriate slogan or profanity on your shirt, they will kick people out. And this story happened on a Spirit Airlines flight. And I just don't know what people are thinking. How do you think you can go to the airport, walk through public, get on an airplane with a vile, obscene shirt? So this guy from Texas was ejected from and you'd think that Spirit would be a whole lot lenient.
Yeah, we'll take anybody.
Listen, can I be honest? I don't want to sound like snooty and elitist because I don't think I am. But listen, I have now flown Spirit.
You're a little snooty.
Hang on, listen to me. I've now flown Spirit 1, 2, 3, like probably 10 times since last spring. So I've been on Spirit a lot. I'm getting close to silver, okay, with my stats. Actually, I would have been, but it reset December 31st. I didn't quite get there, but I was very, very, very close. But listen, I don't want to sound snooty. I'm just being honest that, I fly Delta. Delta's always been my airline of choice per se, but, I haven't been flying Delta as much because, pricing and just they've been a little higher and also some of the routes and times haven't worked for me. So I've not been as exclusive to Delta as I'd been for years. I've kind of branched out. But all the airlines that I do fly, JetBlue, United, Delta, Southwest, and American occasionally.
Okay, we get it. You fly planes.
But I'm just pointing something out that the clientele on Spirit is generally a couple of notches below what I have seen on other airlines. How do I put that nicely?
I think anytime you have something that's offered at a value price, you're going to get a more diverse selection of people.
I'm telling you right now that the quality of the clientele on Spirit is in many cases noticeably lower than other airlines I've been on.
And you started this whole thing with saying I'm not snooty. Or don't want to sound snooty.
Well, I don't.
You are.
But wait a minute. But there's a rhyme and reason here in the fact that if there was an airline that would allow a passenger to have an expletive covered shirt,
right,
it would be Spirit. But no, Spirit tossed this guy off. Texas dude, John Garcia Jr., was booted off of a Spirit Airlines flight, and he was like, are you serious? Yeah, he was on a flight from Los Angeles to San Antonio, and other passengers videoed him and took pictures of him with a shirt on that said F Hate World Tour. And it instead of the U in the F-bomb, and had like a V.
Okay.
But, like if you go like ancient, if you go
Yeah.
like Roman, the V and the U. But listen, you know what it says.
Yeah.
FVCK. And everyone knows. So it's F Hate World Tour, which he got from a website called FWUH, which stands for F What You Heard. So he was apparently putting luggage in the overhead bin when a female flight attendant approached him and inquired if he was in the right seat. The passenger confirmed it was his. Crew member walked away, but returned several minutes later, allegedly ordering him to remove the hoodie because it displayed obscene language. He refused initially to remove the hoodie. The crew member threatened to alert the captain for disregarding the instructions of a crew member. And he was taken aback. I'm sorry. I don't think it's Look at the phones.
Yeah.
I maybe have time for a call or two, but I don't think it's acceptable for people to wear obscene clothing with obscene slogans or language in public. And some people just do this. So, dude, a Spirit Airlines customer, what world are you in where you think it's okay just to, you got kids, to have like an F-bomb blasted all over the front of your hoodie?
Yeah, he's looking for attention. He's looking to get a feeling out of somebody.
All right, let's hit Roxanne in Tampa. Hello, Roxanne. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
So I really think it boils down to just courtesy. Like, know where you are and know who's around you, and just have respect for yourself and others. I mean, it's free speech is free speech, and that's great and all, but just know where you are and be courteous. I had a kindergarten parent come one time and pick up a kindergartner in a T-shirt. I'm not going to say the words, but in a T-shirt that said, "You've never seen an MFer like me," but it had the word.
Wait a second. Hold on. Hold on.
You're
Hold on.
thinking of your kindergartner.
A parent showed up to pick up a kindergartner at school with a T-shirt that read, "You've never seen an MFer like me"?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Oh, my.
That's great.
In what freaking world does a mommy think that's acceptable?
I don't know.
Oh, my God. Hey, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Let me squeeze in one more. I'm running late, but I'm going to grab Jill. Jill, Port Richey, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Go, Jill. Hurry up.
Okay. So I'm a teacher, and at Halloween we allowed the kids to wear costumes, no masks, just costumes.
Yep.
And a few of them came with an orange jumpsuit. It was commercial costume. It was an orange jumpsuit. On the pocket on the front, it said Dick's Plumbing with the number 69, and on the back it said, "We fix your pipes," and it had a graphic.
Dick's Plumbing 69.
All right.
Yeah.
How old were the kids wearing these jumpsuits?
Well, I have to tell you, it was an alternative school.
Okay.
But they're middle and high.
Okay.
So they start from 6th grade all the way to 12th grade.
Wow.
All right. That's more of a joke. You know.
Oh, there's also Dick's Wood Service as well. All right. Thanks for the call.
I'm looking at Dick's
Folks,
Halloween costumes.
Folks, just be conscious. Don't wear, I'm an MFer to pick up your kid at kindergarten. Ridiculous stuff. All right, 7:20 at the MJ Morning Show. All right, running a little late here. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. Dennis Phillips, ABC Action News, is going to join us. Why was he off TV for like 2 weeks? Holy crap. And then, of course, snow in Florida. So we'll talk to Dennis Phillips. I got a lot to ask him next here on the MJ Morning Show. And a lot more because we have an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. So you don't want to miss the next segment because we are loaded. Let's talk about Veterans Ford. If you are looking for a... Starting 1 hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Phillips. Where did he disappear to? Why was he off TV for like weeks? What happened to Dennis Phillips? Also, the cold temps and snow in Florida. Hang on. And also, I'm just curious. Are the weather people going to stop calling it the Gulf of Mexico? Are they going to start calling it the Gulf of America?
I mean, according to the president, the Gulf of America.
We got a lot. We'll call Dennis Phillips in a minute. Hey, Girl Scout cookies are like starting now. Yeah, you're going to have the folks running around the office, with the order sheet, taking orders for their kids that might be Girl Scouts or brownies. This takes me back to a time where Chloe was a brownie. In fact, all the South Tampa brownie troops were full, and Chloe couldn't get into one. So Michelle started a brand new South Tampa troop. I think it was Troop 666.
Yes, and they erected a statue in her honor.
No, I forgot the number. I'm sure Michelle remembers it. But now the cookies are going up again.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the one thing, and, they
How do you tell a Girl Scout that she's priced herself out of the market?
well, but
I mean,
also
if you want to learn about business and you want to learn about how to do transactions.
The boxes have shrunk, too, so the number of cookies, the prices are going up from last year, according to the reports I've seen, but I wonder if they've shrunk the boxes again, or I wonder if shrinkflation is hitting it as well. So it looks like here in Florida, it looks like in most places, the cookie prices have gone up $1 a package. So it looks like, again, this appears to be...
It's a big increase percentage-wise.
Yeah, it looks like this is probably for most of Florida, but it looks like the cost for most cookies will be $6 a package. And specialty cookies like s'mores and toffee-tastic are going up to $7 a package. See, I don't ever remember that there was a price difference. All the cookies were the same.
Is the price of toffee so high that you have to have a different price point?
There's a toffee shortage.
Yeah,
big toffee shortage.
Yeah,
out of South America.
Yes, we're really struggling with the toffee shortage. I don't know how we're going to make it.
Yeah, but it's beginning now. So now through what? Like end of February? So you're going to have the order sheets going around the office or kids coming to the door or outside of, retail establishments. You're going to start seeing the girls. And listen, I have an affection. Chloe was a brownie, a Girl Scout. Michelle started a troop, but at some point, I mean, the prices are getting high. I'm sorry.
Why don't they charge $10 a box?
How about 20? When is it going to be $25 a box?
See, the thing about $5,
it's going to be a car payment for your Thin Mints.
When it was $5 a box last year, I bought a couple of boxes because it was a solid bill. You give them a 10, they give you a 5 back, or so. It made sense. But now they're making change. Ugh, just sounds like it's too much.
I'm calling DPL. I'm calling Dennis Phillips live.
He probably loves Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, yeah. What if he knows they're going up in price? Hello?
Hey, what's up?
He's alive!
Oh, thank you, Lord. Oh, Dennis.
He's alive! Hallelujah! 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 How long were you off TV?
Like 3 weeks.
Oh, my God!
Yeah, I went and got my hair cut yesterday, and the woman who cuts my hair, she's like, "Oh, I heard you were in the hospital and you almost died." I'm like, "No, I wasn't in the hospital. I had flu A, COVID, norovirus, and shingles."
Oh my! Oh wow! Oh my! Whoa! I didn't even know all that. All right, so holy crap! So Dennis Phillips was off of ABC Action News, chief meteorologist, off of TV for 3 weeks. So wait a minute: the flu, COVID, norovirus, and then I would imagine that your immune system was so whacked down that the shingles hit because guess what? As my kids love to say from the commercial, if you've had chicken pox, the shingles virus is in you.
Yeah, and I've been vaxxed. I got the double vax for the shingles virus.
Oh, you got the Shingrix.
I did.
It's supposed to be 90. It's supposed to be like 90% effective, and you got hosed.
Yeah, he's the 10%.
Yeah, I mean, but I think I didn't get it as bad as I would have had otherwise.
Okay.
I think, I hope, I don't know, but it was. I dropped 14 pounds. I'm like wearing the same. I had to go out and buy new clothes because I lost too much weight. I'm down to like my middle school weight.
You lost 4. Well, I guess. Hey, it's the new flu, COVID, shingles, norovirus diet.
True, it works.
The heck with GLP-1s. The heck with Ozempic and just get 4 get 4 viruses.
Yeah, my wife's one of her favorite movies is The Devil Wears Prada, and there's a line in there. She's like, "Oh, I'm just one stomach flu away from my goal weight." And I'm like, "Yeah, that was about it."
Holy crap! I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it was miserable, man. I was not out of bed for 10 days. Literally, it sucked.
Did you have to use vacation days for sick days, or how does that work?
Yeah, but I mean, in our place, the vacation and sick days are kind of the same. I mean, I've been there 30 years though, so I've got all the sick days I ever need. So I wasn't, it wasn't an issue. I guess after a period of time, you no longer have to use your sick days. You can use short-term disability instead. But like I said, I got so many sick days it really.
Yeah, that's like
matter,
after like a couple of weeks, Dennis. Yeah. So now, is the holidays a good time for a weather guy to be sick?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, kind of, because you already have people covering for you anyway, and so it. I mean, it wasn't fun.
No.
But the family was there.
What was the first day? Do you remember the first day that you were out sick? December what?
Well, actually, I was off for the week before Christmas. I'm sorry, before New Year. I worked like Christmas, and then I was scheduled to be off from Christmas on for a week. And I got it just before New Year's. And then I was off another 2 weeks after.
Oh, man,
no.
that's
What
crazy.
a mess.
All right, couple of things. Are we really getting snow in Florida? Are they going to really have like 3, 4, 5 inches of snow up in like Pensacola and Tallahassee?
Yeah. I mean, I think the all-time record snow, like back in the mid-50s, it was in Milton, which is just north of Pensacola.
Did you say Milton?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God you've answered. And of course, Milton.
Fresh cow.
And then of course we had of all hurricanes, we had to have Hurricane Milton back in October.
We've heard enough of that.
Yeah, we
name
got enough
around here.
Milton.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, the name sounded familiar, and I couldn't think why. And that's exactly that's why.
Yeah, I sold 350,000 CDs.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. I bought one. I told you that. I bought one years and years ago, back in the 90s.
It is the crotchety old man CDs. All right, so what are we going to get here? So we're supposed to have really cold weather, I guess, Friday and Saturday morning could be the coldest?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be sunny for Gasparilla. It's going to be the morning's going to be super cold, but then it'll warm up in the mid-60s. I think it's going to be pretty nice for Gasparilla. I mean, people they don't care anyway most of the time. At least it's not going to be raining. But for us tonight, we're going to have some heavy rain overnight. I wouldn't be surprised if Citrus County, maybe Sumter County, they might get a little sleet mixed in around 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Wow.
First thing in the morning. I think for all the rest of us, it's just going to be rain. But yeah, Tallahassee to Pensacola. I think Tallahassee's going to get a couple inches of snow and ice.
Wow.
I think Pensacola's going to get probably 4, 5 inches.
Wow. All you FSU parents, your kids could be making snowmen.
Yeah. Oh, they've already canceled school for 2 days.
Really?
So, Dennis, the South, Atlanta down really has no idea what to do in snow.
But Atlanta's gotten ice storms and snow. Remember, we had a Super Bowl that got whacked because of, remember that?
Yeah, but it's always a mess.
In Atlanta.
People leaving their car on the interstates, and it's a wreck. Florida people
we were wondering. I mean, did they use salt or sand or what are they? I don't know. We were talking about this yesterday afternoon.
I didn't even know that FDOT had snow plows, and I saw video of FDOT getting ready for northern Florida.
So get this. FDOT has snow plows to remove hurricane debris.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I remember like this. I think the city of Largo, 2 decades ago, bought two snow plows.
You're right. Oh, I did see that.
People were up in arms. Why are you wasting city money
to push like beach sand away as well?
Whatever natural disaster affects this area, a snow plow will move it.
Hey, Dennis, have you used the term yet, floricane?
I have not. I've seen it.
Yeah. And then one other question before we let you go. And thank God you're alive, because I had numerous people say
that's a big jump.
They wanted to know when the Dennis funeral was. They didn't know what happened to you. So all kidding aside, well, maybe we are kidding, but has the weather community on TV, have they decided? Are you going to call it the Gulf of America now, or the Gulf of Mexico still? What's the story here?
Yeah, that's far above my pay grade if that happens. But I will tell you, in our weather thread with Greg D and Shay, and Jason and me, we were talking about it yesterday. We were like, man, do we have to rename our maps? Do we have to go in and change the? You know what? I don't know the answer to that.
Or do you just call it the Gulf? I mean, most of the time, folks just call it the Gulf anyway on TV.
It's the Gulf of America.
It's the
okay,
yeah.
Dennis. I tell you right now.
I think that was kind of the feeling. Like, look, we just call it the Gulf anyway. So, but do we have to? On maps that say that the name of it, do they have to be changed? I don't know.
Dennis, if you are the first meteorologist to use Gulf of America, I bet you get a White House invitation.
Well,
if you ever wanted a good tour, now's the time.
Dennis, I'm sure you saw it. I think the Florida State Meteorological Office already issued a weather advisory, and didn't they already mention the Gulf of America?
Governor DeSantis actually put out a snow emergency, and that's kind of where it started. That's where the discussions yesterday started, because the governor sent out a snow emergency, and in there it said the Gulf of America. And once it did, it just showed up. It was all over Twitter, and and everybody started talking about it. So,
and if you missed it, Trump, one of his first things he said, he's declared that it's now going to be called the Gulf of America instead of the Gulf of Mexico. Hey, Dennis, I'm glad you're alive.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
And are you going to try to keep the 14 pounds off, or are you too thin?
I honestly am trying to put on a little weight. I like I said, I'm not lying. I'm at my middle school weight. It's not good. So, because people are like, oh, you look so sickly and you look like you have cancer. And I'm like, well, yeah.
Wait a second, Dennis.
It's not go crazy.
Are the suspenders falling off you now?
Yeah,
Are they too loose?
Yeah, they really are. It's pathetic. It's pretty bad.
All right, so folks, if by any chance you've got suspenders that your 8 or 10-year-old kid wore, send them over to Channel 28 for Dennis. Small little middle schooler suspenders. Dennis needs them. Hey, Dennis, I'm glad you're alive, and thanks for coming on.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, Dennis Phillips, ABC Action News. Can you imagine he had the flu, COVID, norovirus, and then shingles crept in,
Wow.
obviously with a weakened immune system, all at the same freaking time.
No, I wouldn't want any one of those, and he had all four.
Oh, my God. That is insanity. Holy crap.
Glad he's okay.
You want to hear about a moron? You want to hear a total dolt? A guy tosses out a box of puppies. I hate these stories.
No, he's making me sick.
And the guy's name is on a label on the box, like a shipping label. So, So thank God they were able to get this guy and arrest him for animal abuse. Some schmuck in Arkansas was busted on an animal cruelty charge, dumped a box of puppies in a parking lot at a local car wash, and the box still had the shipping label, like, a UPS or an Amazon label.
Name, address.
The whole damn thing.
Who it was sent from. They had all the information on this guy.
Hey, can I tell you something I do?
Yeah.
I don't think many people do this.
What?
When I put the corrugated boxes like FedEx, UPS, Amazon, when I take the boxes and break them down, first of all, I'm a box breaker downer. It's hysterical to see the people in my neighborhood that don't know how to break down a box, and they've got boxes stacked 6 feet up above the green recycle bin.
That's fun. It's called Trash Day Jenga.
Trash Day Jenga. So
it's like modern Tetris. It's like real life.
I break the boxes down so they all fit inside the green recycle bin for Recycle Day.
Aren't you just Citizen of the Month?
But what else I do is I've got this phobia about leaving the address label on the box. I do not want to throw a box away with my name and address on it.
Just to have it live forever? An homage to you in a landfill for all time?
Well, hopefully it's being recycled.
No, it's never being recycled.
Well, there's been a whole...
It's not being recycled.
There's been a whole racket on that, and there's been a lot of questions about how much of the stuff you put in the recycle bin actually just ends up in the landfill anyway. Wasn't there a big deal in, St. Peter, Clearwater? Remember there was a kind of a scandal
Over the years, there have been a bunch of them, yes.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of... Anyway... So I always take the labels off of the boxes I throw away. And then when I saw this story about Jeremy Roberts, 20, busted by police last week after 3 2-month-old puppies were found abandoned at a car wash in Arkansas.
Poor puppies.
Highway 18 in Manila, Arkansas. Manila, Arkansas.
Yep. Got the Filipino restaurant down the road there.
I'm sure there's some great pancit in Manila. Have you ever pancit's great? It's that thin noodle with vegetable. Oh, and Andrew says they make the envelopes in Manila, Arkansas.
That's a good joke.
But what a bonehead. Cops were able to find the guy quickly because of the box with the shipping label. Name, address, everything. Yeah. After talking with Roberts about the incident and the puppy dumping, what kind of sicko just dumps a box of puppies? Now, listen, we get these stories. You had during the hurricane, remember you had some sicko tied the pit bull to a fence off the interstate. Off I-75.
They went back to get him.
Trooper the dog was named Trooper. But we've had people throwing boxes of kittens or dogs out of cars on the side of the road. That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, toss you. Any human that does that, your sentence on, if I were a judge, I would sentence you to be thrown out of a car at 75 miles an hour along the interstate.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what I would do.
That's good justice.
You know what? That's the kind of justice we need. Judge MJ. Absolutely. So Roberts was arrested, charged with 3 counts of cruelty to animals. Yeah, taken to a local lockup. What a dope. What a total schmuck. All right, 7:46 at the MJ Morning Show. The promoted teased item from my MJ Morning Show promo from yesterday follows now. So I had a little teaser yesterday, and it was something to the effect that tomorrow morning on the MJ Morning Show, which is right now, that could this very common activity cause your hair to fall out? And a woman says, "Yup."
Yeah, whatever.
Yup.
I remember my dad told me that'd make me go blind.
No, that's not it. Dude, stop.
I'm just wearing readers
Stop.
now.
You're,
Ha ha ha.
you're grossing me out.
Fooled you, Dad.
Yeah, come on. All right, so woman claims that the gym caused her hair to fall out.
You know, I've heard something like that before where you work out and...
What do you think it is?
I don't know.
What do you think it is?
What, your follicles are sweating so much?
No. You're not even.
The muscles are expanding and contracting in you.
Not even close. Nope.
What is it?
Ringworm.
See, I don't go to the gym, so I don't get ringworm.
It's quite obvious,
right?
But you got pinworm because you're always itching back there.
I do have pinworm,
and you're like picking back there, like you're.
Listen, I'm very sensitive about my pinworm. Please don't bring it up. I don't want to talk about it on the radio.
You have names for him, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
It's Jeremy.
The guy who threw the dogs out was named Jeremy.
Oh, well, that's why it was on my mind. No, seriously, this woman claims that her hair started falling out in clumps, and she goes to the doctor, and the doctor says, "You've got ringworm."
Oh, you weren't kidding.
No, I'm not. I'm not making that up.
I thought ringworm was a joke.
It's not a joke.
I thought the funniest answer you could come up with was ringworm.
It's no, pinworm's funny.
Well, then it led to pinworm.
Assworm is a whole lot funnier. All right, so no, seriously, I'm not making this up. This woman, Hillary Nguyen, Nguyen, Hillary, was told by her doctor, your hair is falling out because you've got ringworm. And it turns out that apparently she got the ringworm from, I guess, uncleaned exercise equipment.
Yeah, sure.
At the gym.
Oh.
I don't know. Is it like from your hands and then you touch your hair, or
you touch your mouth,
or like the padded seats or the backs? You put your head back on like a pad on a machine, and if it wasn't cleaned properly, are you getting a ringworm? So yeah, the doctor said the exercise equipment, the dirty gym equipment, gave her ringworm, and then her hair is like she's got big clumps coming out, and her hair is because she's got ringworm.
Boy,
I'm not making this. Is not a joke.
I thought you were totally kidding.
This is not a ringworm stand-up comedy act.
That's what I thought it was. I'll tell you, if the Ringworm Foundation put out a calendar, she's Miss February.
Oh, she's pretty. She's cute.
She might be the hottest person with ringworm ever.
She's a hottie with a body, by the way, and clumps of missing hair.
Oh, poor woman. She has beautiful hair.
Yeah. That is that's typically, is that Vietnamese, right? Nguyen, pronounced Win. And we've all seen that name spelled, but man, is that Vietnamese? I think it's Vietnamese, right?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
And she's,
the surname Nguyen originates from China and is most common surname in Vietnam.
In Vietnam, yeah. So I'll tell you, she's a smoking hot Vietnamese babe, I'll tell you that. She's the hottest babe with ringworm in America right
kidding.
now.
I mean, if there was a Miss Ringworm contest, here she comes.
Miss Ringworm.
Yeah, she would be the winner. She's a contender, man.
So can the gym really give you ringworm?
Apparently so.
The answer is yes. According to the American Academy of Dermatology Association, that's the AADA, people who go to the gym are vulnerable to a host of different skin infections, including ringworm. But it's treatable. Wynn explains that after 3 months of treatment, her scalp improved. Unfortunately, gyms are the ideal environment for bacteria to grow and get passed between people. Bacteria and fungi thrive in warm, humid environments like the gym equipment and showers. You know what I haven't had in years?
A good case of ringworm?
No, athlete's foot also. Because remember, like the school showers, the gyms and everything, and it was always a concern about. But I remember that when I was like a middle school and I used to have occasional cases of athlete's foot.
You have to get some fast-actin, tenactin or something?
Boom!
Fast-actin.
But I haven't had like athlete's foot like since I was like maybe 14. What the hell happened? Oh, anyway.
Stop showering with other dudes.
All right, so make sure that your gym equipment is cleaned off so you don't get a case of ringworm with your hair falling out like this hot Vietnamese babe. All right. But look, I'm not making this up. This is real stuff here.
All right, so you go to the gym, right? You go pretty regularly.
Yeah, but they're always cleaning stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Do they have like alcohol wipes or sanitation wipes?
Always see them cleaning up the handles and the vinyl padded seats and the backs. And I always see them cleaning it.
Okay.
And that's what you want to see. You want to see a gym
cleaning their equipment.
That cleans the equipment. And because you can't always rely on the guests to do it. And, you know, the guest, for instance, if you got some sweaty hog at one of the big gyms, you know, with a huge, tons of clientele.
Big old muscle head comes in, they're all sweaty.
And you've seen people at the gym sweating like pigs.
Yeah.
I mean, like a big, and sweat coming off of every part of their body. I mean, beads of sweat on their nose just dripping all over the place. It makes me want to puke.
You know, if a gym had, 24-hour access and, good showers and a ringworm-free guarantee, that would be like a selling feature. You could put that in the brochure.
Yeah. Anyway, so just, be cognizant and, but it goes beyond just using the towel. Like if someone just totally sweats all over the gym equipment.
You can't use a towel.
Yeah.
That just smears it around.
Yeah. You need an antiseptic. You need an alcohol. You need something to kill all their nasty sweat germs.
Yeah. The towel just wipes it like margarine on bread.
That are, flinging all over the place. Andrew wants me to take line 5. April in Clearwater. April, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Oh, my gosh. MJ, I love you. I've been listening to you since you came to the area. Sorry, had to get that out of the way.
Hold on. You're talking 1994?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Thank you for that longevity. Thank you very much.
Do you have ringworm, April?
I do not.
Oh.
So my son was a wrestler in high school, and they had to clean the mats constantly because they were in fear of the boys that were wrestling getting ringworm.
Oh, see? Look at this.
Yeah. I mean, wrestling is, I think the closest contact of all the sports because you're right up on each other, and there's no that mat, MJ, the sweat just puddles on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from day one, they actually sent home guidelines. They're like, as soon as they get done with wrestling, they need to go home, get in the shower. They gave us a list of things they could use to prevent ringworm, and it's a big deal.
Well, thank you, April. Can I ask you a question, April?
Of course.
Were you sad at all yesterday?
I was sad for a different reason. My father just passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So.
Yeah, I'm sorry to bring it up. No, because
no, it's fine.
Yeah, the bluest day of the year was yesterday. Yeah, they call it Blue Monday. This year, Blue Monday was yesterday, January 20th.
Why? Because the holidays are over, and I mean, why?
Blue Monday, and Michelle actually sent me a text. Today is the saddest day of the year. No, it's financial reckoning. Bills starting to come in from the holidays. A lot of times it's the weather in many parts of the country and, more of a maybe less weather related here. But hang on, we got a cold snap and you can have like 3, 4, 5 inches of snow up in, Pensacola and Milton and, Tallahassee.
We're having kind of fun cold around here. It really doesn't count, but most of the country is dreary right now.
Yeah, also the shorter days, but also the shortest day passed on December 21st. So the days are getting longer now. But yesterday was declared Blue Monday. The bluest, most depressing day of the year was yesterday. I didn't feel particularly depressed, but But I guess that was yesterday was the day to feel it. April, sorry about your dad, and thanks for calling.
Oh, thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful day.
You too. You want to hear the worst relative in the world?
Yes. You.
He's saying.
I thought you wanted me to guess. I don't know.
He's saying.
You saw your dad this week. He's like, Todd, you're the worst son ever. Leave me alone. Go back to Tampa.
Stop it.
Who?
This is the worst relative ever. Man went to his mother's home, broke into the house, and poured a relative's ashes in the toilet.
Oh, no.
Can you imagine that?
Oh, that's terrible.
You know what? I don't think there's anything worse than this.
Yeah, that's really bad. Who is the relative?
Here's the deal. This man was arrested over the weekend. According to Memphis, Tennessee police, he broke into his mother's home and poured a relative's ashes in the toilet. On Saturday, officers responded to a residence in the 5200 block of Shelburne in Memphis, where a female victim reported that her adult son, Adele Totten, had allegedly broken a window, entered. What? You don't have a key to mom's house? There might be a lot of play here.
That's a challenging relationship if you don't have a key to your mother's place.
Exactly. You know, I've got all the codes and
for safety's sake.
Yeah. My parents don't have, well, they do have keys, but they have electronic locks. So I know all the codes to get into the garage.
Just in case to get in
into the house.
If they fell or anything, help your mom.
The victim, the mother, claimed that her son took down the indoor security cameras and allegedly took the cremated ashes of a deceased relative and put them in the toilet. Officers who responded found Totten still at the scene, arrested him. He was found to have also a stolen cap, like a hat that he stole as well.
Yep, I'm going to steal this hat and flush these ashes.
The victim does not live at the residence, hence breaking in because he doesn't have a key.
Well, he's not the victim. He's
Listen to this. He was charged with aggravated burglary and abuse of a corpse.
Okay, hold on a second.
Holy crap. So wait a sec. In Arkansas, you could be charged with abuse of a corpse if it's not like an actual body, but one that's been cremated and all that exists are the ashes. You could still be charged. Wow.
I mean, you could be charged with anything, and then the prosecutor's office has to figure it out. I don't know about that charge, but I don't know that I've ever met a man named Adele.
Oh, that's true.
What did he say when he walked into the door?
After he broke through the window?
Yes. He said, terrible relative. What a terrible son.
Adele Totten.
Did you say who the relative was?
No, we don't know. It just says that he
was it the father? Was it the aunt?
It doesn't say.
Was it a sibling?
He took the cremated ashes of a deceased relative that mom had at the house and chucked the ashes, put the relative in the toilet. Oh, my God. I mean, what do you do? It doesn't say if he flushed also. I wonder if he flushed the relative down.
Just floating there?
Could you think of anything more horrific than you have the cremains of a deceased relative, and your kid comes in and throws maybe it is dad, maybe it's the mother's father or mother-in-law, who knows? But I mean, I can't think. That is the most horrific thing I've ever heard, is throwing a relative's ashes in the toilet.
I gotta say,
God.
I always get creeped out if you visit someone or you're in their home and there's the relative's ashes like there.
This is Crazy Story Tuesday because I've got a follow up. This is out of Mobile, Alabama. A person driving around with a pet monkey.
Oh no!
Pulled up to a Starbucks drive-thru. The monkey leapt out of the car into the drive-thru window and bit the barista. I'm sorry to laugh, but This could be one of the funniest things I've ever heard. I'm sorry. This is Tillman's Corner in the Mobile, Alabama area. I'm sorry to laugh. The Starbucks employee had to be taken to the hospital, required stitches. And
is that a picture of the monkey?
Yes, that's the monkey. So the Starbucks employee at the drive-thru had to be taken to the hospital, required stitches and vaccinations last week after a customer's pet monkey leaped into the window, the drive-thru window, ran up her arm to her head and began biting her.
Oh, my God. This monkey doesn't look cute. It looks menacing.
The attack reportedly ended when a coworker grabbed the animal and threw it back out of the So a coworker grabbed the monkey and chucked it back out of the drive-thru window.
I'd grab that monkey by the tail and rip him off of you.
My God. What's the monkey? I know I've seen this monkey. Let me see if the story has.
This is an
and what's the name of the monkey?
Otis night monkey?
An Otis night monkey. It's like it's got that interesting little small face with the giant eyes and kind of like raccoon features a little bit, but it's a monkey.
It's not like a cute macaque.
That's a macaque monkey, by the way.
Apologies to have mislabeled the monkey.
Yeah. Wow. 8:30 in the morning. Last Friday, officers with the Mobile, Alabama Police Department were called to respond to an incident at a Starbucks where officers learned that a customer's pet monkey leapt from the vehicle window into the restaurant through the drive-thru and attacked an employee. Oh, my God. This is like a comedy show. And then runs up.
It's like a horror show. Comedy show. No way.
Runs up the employee's arm.
This is the thing nightmares are made out of.
They got the little green, Starbucks smock on,
Making a venti or a tall. They don't go by regular sizes.
Yes, I'll take a double vente schmente primate bite.
I'd like a monkey chino.
But then bites then another employee's got to grab the monkey and throw it out.
Did you totally miss my monkey chino joke?
No, I heard monkey chino.
That's a good Starbucks joke. I mean, we're very limited in our scope of humor, and with the monkey chino.
I saw, doing my prep last night, 8:04 at the MJ Morning Show, MJ, Fester, Michelle was going to be here. Let me call Michelle quickly because I did promote the fact that Michelle was going to be here today and tomorrow.
It's really the only reason why I'm listening.
But Michelle asked for a little reprieve. She thought she was going to come in. She thought she was going to be okay. But Michelle had the laser treatment on her face yesterday, and
I remember asking you. You were talking about it yesterday. I'm like, is she going to be all right to come? And you're like, yeah.
Well, no, she thought she was going to be okay. But people have commented. If you go look at my Instagram, if you go to Certified MJ Radio, and there's going to be another reason we're going to talk about this in a second, because I've got another MJ germaphobe minute coming up. Another MJ Morning Show Germaphobe Minute is minutes away. So if you go to my Instagram, you'll see there are pictures of Michelle or, little videos. And a lot of people comment that Michelle, she looks great, that her skin is so good. And what does she do? Well, Michelle, does certain procedures, dermatological procedures. And the most invasive one that she does, I think it's like once every year or year and a half. And I got to call her up to get the actual name, but it looks like somebody blowtorched her face. Right? I mean, and I was a little hesitant of having her come in as well and then sit in front of the camera, end up on MJTV, and then somebody taking a freeze shot and circulating the picture of Michelle looks like she's been dragged face down behind the bumper of a car for about 7 miles on 275 North. I mean, it really is horrific. I mean, it's let me call her up. But here's the deal. it heals in like 4 to 5 days. And then that's part of the secret on why Michelle's skin looks so good and why, she's 54 years old and she looks like she's 35. Oh, I better say 25.
I mean,
I better say 25. All right, hang on a minute. Oh, and in addition to her face looking like she was beaten silly or dragged behind a car or was in a house fire or had an acid accident in the chemistry lab.
You're not helping yourself at all with this.
On top of that, she's all pilled up, which I thought would have been also humorous if she was a little loopy because she's on hydrocodone for, the pain. But she says it's so worth it because she looks so good after it. Hang on a minute. Let me get her on the phone. I hope she's all right. I hope she can even answer the phone right now. But I told her, listen, you don't need to come in this morning, because she was pretty bad shape.
Hello?
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Are you listening to the show?
Yeah.
All right. Are you looped up on your oxys or hydrocodones or whatever they gave you?
No.
All right, so what's this procedure that you get called?
It's called profractional.
It's called what?
Profractional.
It's called profractional.
Yeah.
And seriously, it looks like you passed out at a campfire and you ended up in the fire and the embers and your face is all burned to a crisp.
Yeah.
I mean, you're bleeding like I took a cheese grater across your face.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. You know what? Imagine taking a cheese grater going, I
mean, if you see somebody and they go, oh my God, Michelle, what happened? And you're like, well, he finally flipped and he took the cheese grater to me, they would believe you.
Yes.
Me and my pecorino.
Yes.
So how often do you have it? Is it like every year and a half?
Yeah, you get it done once a year, every year and a half, whatever you want to do.
When's the last time you had chopped meat face?
Oh, probably about 2 years now.
It's been 2 years.
It's been a while. Yeah,
okay.
It's been a while.
All right, but you say the results are fantastic for you, that it gets you looking like you're 16 again.
Oh, yeah. That's what I promised you when I got married, right? It was a requirement.
All right, so I have to endure the fire face for, what is it, like 4 or 5 days?
Yeah, it'll be, a lot of that blood will come off today.
How much blood is there?
Well,
now
I came home a little bloodier than usual.
Now I want to see it.
Oh, man. But again, the results that she gets are incredible. But you're doing okay?
Yeah.
I had to go pick up her scheduled drugs from the Publix pharmacy last night for the pain pills. Unbelievable. Hi, Michelle. Love you. See your bloody face in a few hours.
All right, hurry home.
All right, sweetie.
Yeah, because she needs you to change her face gauze.
Oh yeah, I tell you what, nothing like thinking about some intimacy with her face looking like this. What are you doing? What are you saying? What?
Stop.
All right, goodbye, sweetie.
Bye.
Oh man. And I got to be honest, I was a little nervous if she did come in, we talked about this. If she did come in, that maybe we would tell Andrew, do not select her camera on MJTV.
We can't do that all day.
Because I was but I'll tell you what, it's kind of like the car accident you can't turn away from. You're like, oh my God, what is going on with your face? But again, the results in a couple of days are phenomenal. Wow. Hey, speaking of Publix, so I had to pick up her pills at the Publix pharmacy.
Yes.
And this dawned on me. Do you know what Super Bowl this is coming up? This is the NFL and the Super Bowl on MJ, not on Fox. You know what Super Bowl this is, right?
Yeah, it's Super Bowl, what, 50-something, 58?
No.
59?
No, it's 59.
15. Okay,
So
I'm way off. I say 50,
no, it's important because of the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
So the Super Bowl is 59. What is the Roman numeral equivalent of 59? What is it?
I don't know. XXV.
No. Dude, L is 50. So you're gonna have an L.
LIX?
And then if it's not, yes, because the I goes before the X,
Because that's
making
X,
it takes the 10 down to
take
a
away
9.
the 1, yeah.
Right. So the Super Bowl Roman numeral equivalent this year is LIX.
What? It looks like licks.
The question is Publix, PUB, Super Bowl LIX, are they doing anything with that this year? Has their marketing department, has Publix even gotten with the NFL? You probably need to do some kind of paid promotional deal. But think about that. Super Bowl LIX, it's perfect for Publix. It doesn't work with Winn-Dixie.
No.
Or Trader Joe's or Aldi or Fresh Market or Sprouts.
It could work with Winn-Dixie if you changed the D to an L. Just saying. Winn-Lixie.
No, but think about this. Pub and then the Super Bowl's LIX. It's perfect. Pub, LIX, Super Bowl. They should have paid the NFL a fortune to be able to do some kind of tie-in. I haven't seen anything. Come on. I can't be the only one that thought of PUB, Super Bowl, LIX, Pub, Licks, right? I can't be the only one.
You might be the only one.
All right, speaking of food, moving along here. You know what pisses me off? I saw a story last night, and this was just in my feed on my phone. I've got a Google Pixel phone, and if I scroll over to the left, then I get this news feed that just kind of populates and kind of probably listens to you, and stories pop up. And for whatever reason, a story popped up. And Fester, I don't know where you stand on this, but I'm very passionate about this. And I hope that you don't piss me off even more.
Great.
All right? So,
most of the things you're passionate about, I'm not.
In my feed, trust me, this is going to be in your wheelhouse.
All right, good. Let's lay it on me.
In my feed, I get a story, 11 steak sauces ranked worst to best. And I had just a visceral, angry reaction. I hate steak sauce.
I think they're all terrible.
Yeah. What the hell? Why are you using steak sauce?
I mean, unless you're covering up a really crappy piece of meat.
That's the deal. It's my understanding that steak sauce was invented back in the 1800s, pre-refrigeration. And steak sauce was invented to mask the taste of bad, rancid, spoiled meat.
You had to eat it because there was nothing else.
Exactly. So you're in agreement. Steak sauces are awful. Why, if you've got a good cut of meat, so I'm looking at this story, 11 steak sauces ranked worst to best. They got,
Are they store-bought brands?
Yeah, well, A1, Heinz 57, Rufus Teague.
Okay.
Texas steak sauce. You've got, I don't know, you got the Great Value Walmart brand.
When I think of great steak sauce, I think of Walmart brand.
Is HP...
That's a British brand.
No, is it? Listen, they make printers as well. All right, so I'm reading this damn story. I'm like, who the hell puts steak sauce? I hate steak sauce.
Yeah, I don't.
It's ridiculous. If you've got a great piece of meat, why are you trying to screw it up with some ridiculous, overpowering steak sauce? Ugh, yuck. Peter Luger.
The Peter Luger sauce.
They sell steak sauce.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Look, there's the Whole Foods 365 brand of steak sauce. I mean, do you put steak sauce on your steak? Why? Enjoy the taste of the meat. The bottom line, a good steak, I think it's like salt and pepper, butter. That's it. That's it.
I mean, maybe you're having a crappy piece of cut of meat or something, or not very flavorful.
I like to broil in some butter and, spoon the butter on top. Toss a little rosemary on top as well. But steak sauce is the freaking devil. I mean, why do you want to ruin the taste of the beef with some kind of overpowering ketchup and vinegar and Worcestershire sauce? I mean, why do you want to wreck it?
All right.
Yes.
So if you did have,
you're in agreement with me. Look at this.
But if you did have a little puddle of sauce that you just gently dipped a chunk of steak in as you ate it, I think they did pick the best one.
They picked A1 as the best?
Yeah. If it was ranked from worst to best, the last one on their list is A1.
A1 is their favorite?
But it's like a Worcestershire. Where's your sister?
Worcestershire?
Where's your sister sauce?
All right, moving along. Listen, public service announcement. If you put steak sauce on a good piece of steak, I'm going to come by and beat your ass.
I mean, I've seen people put ketchup on steaks. I've seen people cover their steaks with like Heinz 57 sauce. I'm like, ugh, what are you doing, man?
Couple of things. Let's deal with. I got to deal with the inauguration. Again, some of the interesting sidebars. I'm not getting into the politics, folks. I did that for 22 years, and I'm happy to be out of the biz, man.
Yeah, well.
Especially these days. I just feel much better in life.
You know what?
Not dealing with all the political turmoil.
Take all these politics, bundle them all up, and throw them straight into the Gulf of America.
You know, I feel so much better just doing this show again, and the content that we choose. All right, couple of things though, and obviously TikTok plays into this. All right, first let me deal with TikTok, and Trump has signed an executive action to delay the TikTok ban for 75 days. I do disagree with that because, Democrats and Republicans and many Republicans that are Trump supporters in Congress have said, no, it is a national security risk. Why are we extending this? But Trump did sign an extension. So an executive action, it delays the banning of TikTok for 75 days. But again, look what TikTok did. Late Saturday night, they took it down voluntarily to create a panic, to cause this big rumble and tumble going on.
Well, that was the day it was supposed to go down.
No, Sunday. But TikTok took it offline late on Saturday night. That was a total move. That was a total stunt. But that demonstrates the manipulation that they have, how they can manipulate this country. That was totally orchestrated to shut it down early, to have people flip out. And people were crying and, oh, my God. I mean, give me a freaking break. All right, so Trump did sign the order, so it delays the enforcement of the TikTok ban for 75 days from yesterday. And the action directs the U.S. Department of Justice not to enforce the Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act, which passed with broad bipartisan, both Democrats and Republicans, in Congress and was signed back in April by Biden, president at the time. And the law required that starting on Sunday, January 19th, TikTok be banned in the United States unless it sells to a buyer from America or one of its allies, and not a Chinese company, that the Chinese Communist Party has access to all of the American data, tracking and the ability to propagandize, to suggest certain material, suppress other material. Anyway, there are a lot of issues here, and it is problematic. It is a national security threat. I do believe that. So TikTok was down for about, 14 hours?
Something like that, yeah.
And then it came back because Trump said, so TikTok said, Trump says he's going to reinstate, so we're going to turn TikTok back on. The Chinese commies, they're just toying with America with the TikTok on, TikTok off, and having people freak out and panic. But listen, the bottom line is that you've got a 75-day reprieve, and then it's going to go dark again unless it is sold. Now, I know that Trump was talking about the U.S. taking an 80% stake. Listen, the problem is that
if they have any stake.
Listen, it's got to come off of Chinese accessible servers. It can't be on servers that the Chinese Communist government has access to. So I don't care what the partnership is, as long as it moves to servers that are American controlled and that no foreign adversary like the Chinese commies have access to all of this data. That's what it comes down to. So the law gives the president broad discretion on how to enforce the ban. Trump's promise in a Truth Social post that he would sign an executive action Monday so the law would not be enforced, including for ban violations that took place before he became president, was sufficient enough for TikTok to shut itself down for about 14 hours Saturday night into Sunday. The unfortunate timing of Section 2A of the Act, one day before I took office as the 47th President of the United States, interferes with my ability to assess the national security and foreign policy implications. But also keep in mind that Trump was opposed to TikTok before he was for TikTok. So Trump actually, if you go back a couple of years, Trump also had problems with TikTok
And Tic Tacs.
and Tic Tacs as well.
I like the orange flavor.
So listen, bottom line is it can't be on Chinese servers, and the Chinese are saying that they're not selling it.
Okay.
So that's where we are.
Not to get too political.
Well, this is not political.
No, I don't think it is.
Listen, TikTok. Well, listen, as far as the discussion on the show, it's not political in the sense that TikTok, this is a wide, vast pop culture item with the TikTok.
We
deal.
heard this. I heard about that once or twice before.
All right. Well, but we have new breaking
I don't know
news
that
on this.
every time we need to break down how the Chinese are manipulating everything. We get it.
All right. Thank you, Fester.
I listen to the show fairly regularly.
All right.
Point made.
All right. And then this is actually very humorous. Over on Fox News, they made a little mistake with the graphics.
What they do
in the industry, when you see the graphics on the screen,
in
the business, it's called the Chiron, and Chiron, Chyron, and it's the Chiron, which is an industry term, sort of has become used. You know, it's sort of become part of the lexicon, and there are people that will address the graphics on the TV screen as, the Chiron. Chiron was the name of a company, or is the name of a company.
Okay.
Yeah, Chiron was the actual name that came up with some of the early graphics devices. So on Fox News, they misspelled TikTok. Fox News Sunday with Shannon Bream. On the bottom of the screen, it read TITKOK shuts down in the U.S.
Oh, my God.
TITKOK.
I never realized how close it was. You just mix up two letters, and you get the funniest word ever.
TikTok became TITKOK.
I've been saying TikTok for years now, and I just switched one letter, and it's the funniest word I've ever heard.
I can't. I'm leaving off the other K's.
It sounds like a kind of bird. I mean, if you say, "Oh, look, there's a," it sounds like a sparrow.
Or in South America, you've got Lake.
Yeah,
like Titicaca.
Yeah, right.
Who the hell? Who running the graphics Chiron at Fox News makes a mistake like TITKOK instead of TIKTOK?
Oh my God, I'm looking at it now. That's perfect.
You're looking at the graphic?
Yes. But this wasn't during the inauguration.
No. This was Fox News Sunday.
Okay.
This was on Sunday when they were, and during Fox News Sunday, the blackout for TikTok was still on. Because it was a little after noon or 1 o'clock when TikTok turned things back on.
Who noticed it? Some producer?
Again.
By the way, let's change the spelling on
Get
that.
it off the screen. You got the wrong spelling of TikTok up there.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, that's absolutely hysterical. All right, let's deal with a couple of inauguration things. And again, the humorous side. Oh my God, did you see Mark Zuckerberg busted looking down at Jeff Bezos's fiance's boobs?
Listen, listen,
my God.
If you're going to put them out there, people are going to look.
Well, yeah. And Lauren Sanchez, a lot of folks were trashing her for wearing a trashy outfit.
Whatever. She looked great.
Listen, I'm not saying she... Well, I got to be honest. She's overdone.
She looks great.
Listen, you've got your opinion. To me, she's just way overdone. The lip filler and it looks like plastic surgery, whatever she's had done. I guess that's the look that you got to have if you're going to marry one of the richest guys in the world.
She bought everything on Amazon.
But there are images there's there's video of Zuckerberg looking down Lauren Sanchez.
Is that lingerie? she's
It is.
wearing?
Yeah. So that's what she's gotten busted for. So Jeff Bezos's partner, now fiance, has been called trashy. She showed up wearing some type of designer like white blazer, and there was nothing underneath. She's got the full rounded like top of the boobs fully visible, and then it's like she's wearing like lingerie, like some kind of a lace kind of bra or something underneath, with this blazer jacket opened up enough that you got big rounded boobs on top, and then the lacy, and you've got the Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook, Meta's Mark, sitting right next to Lauren Sanchez and looking right down her. I mean, just looking at her cleavage.
Right there, man.
He's staring right at the vag, the cleavage, the vig.
We got it. Yeah, he's exactly right.
Wow.
Good for all parties involved.
Well, people were saying, hey, listen, Melania Trump was, dressed very smartly and very neatly. She had a big giant hat on, which
covered her eyes the whole time.
Trump couldn't even get in to give her a kiss because the brim of the hat kept him.
I can't get closer for a kiss.
Yeah. So Melania Trump's hat was described as the same hat that the Hamburglar wears from McDonald's.
I don't know that I've ever seen the president and first lady have any kind of public affection before, but it was very awkward. He's like an inch away from a kiss. This damn
I
hat.
can't live without your love and affection. Anyway, so Jeff Bezos's fiance Lauren Sanchez slutting it up good, and Mark Zuckerberg caught looking right down in her cleavage.
Okay, we get it. We heard you the first time.
Look at those rounded boobs.
Okay, she looks great. Here's Jared Kushner turning around, and he's like, "So,
let me cop a peek as
hello,
well."
Yes. I'm a Prime member. I should get a good look.
So I wonder what Mark Zuckerberg's wife is going to have to say about this. She wasn't there.
She was right next to him.
Mark Zuckerberg. No. Okay. No. It was
Priscilla Chan.
Yeah. She was there.
Priscilla Chan, Zuckerberg, and then he's checking out Sanchez, and then there's Bezos.
You're right. So that's a wider shot. But there was someone else whose wife wasn't there.
Obama's wife wasn't there.
Michelle Obama wasn't.
Pence's wife wasn't there.
There were some others though that I
think the billionaires brought their wives. I don't think Elon brought anybody.
Meanwhile, they all got into the rotunda, and like DeSantis, governor of Florida, he was relegated to the overflow room.
Well, he would have dropped out of that race a couple weeks earlier. He'd probably been sitting right next to him.
Anyway, it's hysterical watching Zuckerberg. So that makes it that makes it even worse that Zuckerberg's wife was sitting right next to him, and she's looking right down. Zuckerberg's looking right down
This is
Bezos's.
completely fine. Zuckerberg is lucky his mouth wasn't open, like because that would have been the case if I were sitting next to her.
And then we have the Carrie Underwood situation.
What a mess.
Yeah, man, that was talk about bad timing for a technical screw up.
She handled it as well.
She did. And you know what?
Anybody.
Without music, her a cappella was fantastic. So listen, this was completely out of Carrie Underwood, American Idol contestant. Did she win one year?
She was the winner. Like season 3, 4, or 5, 6, something like that. But she was a winner. And so probably the biggest star that show is produced.
So, yeah, among them, certainly. So, American Idol winner, Carrie Underwood, she's now 41 years old. Holy crap. So, she was to sing America the Beautiful inside the Capitol Rotunda since the inauguration was moved indoors. And there was a technical glitch, and the music wouldn't start.
It played for a blip.
It was. I have it. You ready? Here, listen.
Uh-oh.
Up. So I don't know whether the digital recording got corrupted or like the computer rebooted or something, but that's it. It started to play. And that's it.
They actually, MJ, played the music off of TikTok. And it shut down right there.
Right there.
So the way the angle was, Carrie was on the side of President Biden and Kamala Harris and all the other presidents.
Kamala.
She was on that side. And you could see like Obama and Bush just chuckling like, guy can't even get his music right.
Yeah, but she handled her. There was awkward silence.
For like a minute and a half.
It was like a minute and change. There was like awkward silence. And you know that somebody in the booth or some of the technical people like, oh my God, what the computer froze up. Maybe they're trying to reboot it or something. And it's probably watching the progress bar. 6%, 7%, 10%. Windows update.
So here's the deal. Halfway through her singing the song,
right,
I was like, this is the best thing to happen.
But she was phenomenal. So the point is, a big technical foul up as Carrie Underwood is about to sing America the Beautiful, and she goes a cappella and pulls it off. And she was also accompanied by the Armed Forces Chorus and the United States Naval Academy Glee Club.
They walked in singing an earlier song.
But the music from whatever the band was with the record, that never went. But here's a little bit of Carrie Underwood, and she clearly is talented because she didn't need the music backing track. Listen.
You know the words, help me out here. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Bravo! Bravo! Carrie Underwood!
It was a really great performance. And a very stressful performance.
With the music failing, dead air for like a minute and a half, and then for her just to bounce right back and do just a brilliant, perfect a cappella.
And then she turns around and leaves. You can't give Carrie a seat after that?
Yeah, she was fantastic. I guess she was seen like mouthing, just sing. Should I just sing? And that's what she did. And she really, really pulled it off. I mean, America the Beautiful with her emergency a cappella version was just that. It was beautiful.
But the minute plus of just awkward, weird silence. And I'm like, what's happening next? What's going down? When's she going to sing?
Anyway, there were some reports that she had a little bit of a hissy fit after the performance, and that's understandable.
Yeah, first thing I would say when behind, what the hell happened?
But I think it showcased her talent even more, actually, to be quite honest. So I give her kudos. I give her a round of applause. And you know what? I'm going to phone up Carrie later today.
Yeah, she'll take your call, too. Oh, yes.
I'm going to put it on the Underhills bill.
Yes.
Not the Underwoods bill. I'm going to put it on the Underhills bill.
Okay, good.
My club sandwich later today. Yeah. All right. And then one other thing regarding the inauguration, and the Capital One Arena was packed. Do you see that they were not allowed to bring bags in? People were leaving expensive bags. Just, I got to get into the arena.
Well, here's the deal.
There are pictures of piles of bags with belongings that people just abandoned outside the Capital One Arena. What's in your backpack? Oh, I don't know. I had to leave it outside. What's in your wallet? Oh, it was too big. I had to chuck it out on the sidewalk. So, I mean, there are pictures with, like, expensive, like, designer purses and there's, like, a Louis Vuitton bag out there. And
whatever these people are carrying in, none of it could make it into the arena. You can't bring it into a sporting venue. You can't bring it to a Bucks game.
We've been to places where your purse can, like, only be the size of, like, a pack of cards, or you got to have like a clear
about cell phone size.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are clear. Stadium bags are clear.
See, this is why I'm a shut-in and an agoraphobic these days. You know,
that's why, huh?
Listen to this. Just outside of the Capital One Arena on G Street,
look at this.
Attendees can be seen discarding their belongings on the sidewalk in order to enter the event in compliance with security requirements. As many gather at Capital One Arena for Trump's inauguration, expensive items like Louis Vuitton bags have been dumped on the sidewalk.
Whatever they brought.
In order to enter the event. Fox 5 Stephanie Ramirez witnessed attendees having to ditch pricey bags and items due to the security requirements of the arena. Due to last-minute changes, attendees were not aware of the strict security requirements and were forced to make tough decisions. Some even staying outside to guard items.
Here's NBC4's reporter on the street.
All right, hit it.
As people are dumping.
You got to empty your pockets. So look what's happening. People are leaving their purses, emptying them, taking their cash out, taking whatever they can with them, but then leaving stuff on the ground. Brooks, come on over here. This is a Louis Vuitton purse over here. People are leaving book bags. I found some Lululemon book bags over here as well, and handbags, because again, you're not allowed anything you're not allowed to bring anything in Capital One Arena. By the way, let's show you real quick what the security looks like here.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
So if the stuff was just abandoned, all you had to do is go outside the Capital One Arena, and next thing you know, you've got a $600 Louis Vuitton handbag.
So the whole thing is...
That might be even cheap.
The whole thing has a perimeter, a gate perimeter. You had to dump it before the gate perimeter, so anybody could have walked up to that point. Wow. What a mess.
All right, so last night, Notre Dame got their asses handed to them by Ohio State.
I think it turned out to be a good game toward the end, but, man.
Well, it got a little more competitive. I mean, listen, the opening play, I mean, Notre Dame had a great
first drive.
Opening minutes. You know, Notre Dame scored. It was looking good. And then Ohio State, came back and gave them an ass pounding.
Yeah.
Talk about Pound Town. And then toward the end, Notre Dame started to come back. What was the final score? 34-23, right?
Yeah, they kicked a last-minute field goal to really cinch it away.
So Ohio State 34, and Notre Dame ended up with 23. But I'll tell you what, there's one other thing that I noticed. Speaking of arenas, did you see the people and the comments on the price of the concession items, drinks, and food?
How much were they?
Did you see what people were saying? This is all over social media.
No, I haven't.
The prices of popcorn, hot dog, French fries, cheeseburger, soda inside the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, where the college championship football game was last night. You don't know what people were saying?
They were saying, wow, this is really reasonable. This is quite affordable.
That is correct.
Were they? Okay.
Yes.
Because I was expecting it to be like...
No, it's exactly the opposite. People were like, oh, my God, the prices...
Could you go to like a Bucks game or a Lightning game? It's like a $20 beer.
I'll tell you what, I've seen some of the prices down at Amalie, and they are ridiculous. I've been to other places where, a freaking, 16-ounce bottle of Zephyr Hills water, which is less than $1. I've seen those things go for like $8, $10, $12. It's like, are you kidding me? So here's the deal.
There was a pizza place in Amalie once, sold pizza by the slice, $7 a slice. You wanted a whole pizza, $56.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
It was crazy.
And it was probably crappy pizza, too. Probably really crappy pizza. So Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, fans were saying, my God, the prices are amazing. Soda was $2. Pretzel, $2. Popcorn, $2.
That's awesome.
Hot dog, $3. French fries, $3.
Why can't it be like that all the time?
Cheeseburger, $5.
That's the most expensive thing on the menu.
Draft beer, $5. Now tickets were $17,000 to get in, but the people were like, "Wow, what a breath of fresh air!" But the cheapest ticket available was apparently over $1,700. But the concession prices were very reasonable.
Once you get in.
Yeah. So people were very pleasantly surprised with that.
How are the tickets that much? I mean, is it the scalper market or all those people paid all that money to go to this game? I don't know.
You know what? Oh, yeah. Andrew is pointing out that we get the championship game. So there's been some scheduling conflict, and I do have the story.
When do we get the championship game?
2029. So at Ray J.
So Tampa had the second playoff championship game, like when Clemson won maybe like 8 years ago.
Well, breaking news, it's going to be, 4 years from now, but we will host the 2029 college football playoff title game. It was supposed to be Dallas, but apparently there's a conflict that weekend because the home show is scheduled.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dallas home boat and RV show.
Texas's biggest home show.
Hey,
you gotta see it. You gotta go.
Hey, y'all looking to put new fence posts up around your ranch?
No, I guess there was some.
What conflict is there 5 years out?
All right, according to a report, Dallas cited scheduling conflicts as the reason for backing out of hosting the game. What kind of scheduling conflict can't you work through
in half a decade?
In 2029. But hey, listen, Dallas saying we can't do it.
Perfect.
We're going to get it. So
come to Tampa.
Tampa's going to get it. So some scheduling conflict for January 22nd, 2029.
It's really a busy time.
Is going to put the national title game here. It'll be in Vegas in 27, New Orleans in 28, Tampa in 29, and then Miami in 2030.
What about next
year? If the world is still here. If we're still here.
Let's not look too far ahead, but
Miami will also have next year's game.
Okay, all right.
So Miami will have it in 26, and Miami will also have it in 30. Exactly.
Okay. Well, cool. I'm glad to see Tampa is at least in the circle of cities that gets this big game. You know, you have to be a pretty warm weather climate or a dome to get the game. So I'm glad they do.
We're going to get it. Well, you've heard of gate lice, right?
Yeah, the people who hang out at the airport.
Yeah. Well, no,
they
hang out at the. So listen, gate lice. The name has morphed a little bit, but because it then started to get used for the people that are trying to jump boarding groups. Like if you're boarding group 8 and you try to get in boarding group 3, some have tried to describe that as gate lice. No. The original term for gate lice at the airport. The original term is the people that crowd the gate. Like they think that suddenly the door is going to disappear if they don't crowd the gate. So that's what gate agents and airline personnel call the people that are waiting to board in group 2, 3, 4, 5. All the people that like crowd and they got to stand right next to the the entryway. They're called gate lice, right? Well, guess what? Now there's a term, and I've recognized this on the show before. I've talked about this. I just didn't have a name for it, and now there's a new name, aisle lice. And aisle lice, this is when you're on the airplane and you've landed and you're deplaning, all the people that jump up immediately into the aisle or the people back in 32A that try to race to the front and try to jam through to be, off the plane quicker. And you see that all the time.
As soon as the seatbelt light goes off or the plane is like at the gate and it makes that boom, people, they stand right. Yeah. Where do they think they're going?
Yeah, exactly. You've got all of the people in front that need to get up, get their stuff out of the overheads, get off the airplane. So the people now, the latest, I guess, observation, the latest shaming is aisle lice, and I notice it all the time.
It's been around forever.
And I do notice it's worse on Spirit, and I have flown Spirit numerous times in the last 6-8 months because of my dad and his health condition, so I've been going back and forth to Fort Lauderdale from Tampa International, quite a bit, and I've been flying Spirit for the most part. And I notice on Spirit that there are more aisle lice, more people try to get up, not knowing the etiquette of you exit the plane row by row. And instead, you got people from the back of the plane trying to race to the middle, race to the front. Just calm down. So now they're called aisle lice. All right, speaking of spirit, and I mentioned this much earlier in the program. Am I a germaphobe? Hey, do me a favor, bring up my Instagram. So, folks, there is a brand new video that I shot. I shot this Sunday morning. I did not post it until last night. And it's already got like 8,000 views. It's already, let's see, where are we on this thing? And if you go to my Instagram, go to Certified MJ Radio and bring me up, and I want you to play the audio on this.
Okay.
So it's the last item.
Right here.
So select it and then hit unmute. Go.
Absolutely drives me nuts. Unlike other airlines, Spirit Gate agents want to grab your phone and scan it. Just let us put our own phone on the device to scan it.
So here's the issue.
Is that every time?
Dude, for whatever reason, the Spirit Gate agents.
Every time you've been on a plane?
Every single time.
And you hand your phone over?
No. So I don't hand my phone over, and sometimes they get annoyed. It happened on the video that I shot at Fort Lauderdale. I was getting ready to get on the plane at Fort Lauderdale Airport, Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Spirit flight, like a 8:25 flight back to Tampa Sunday morning. And again, every single Spirit flight that I've taken, I don't know if the agents are instructed to try to speed things along or whatever, but the Spirit Gate agents want to grab your phone. They want you to hand them your phone for the digital boarding pass that you have, to be able to put it on the scanner, to scan the QR, the barcode, whatever the hell it is, in order to check you in, to allow you to board the aircraft.
He's not verifying names or anything.
No, it's.
I mean,
all right. So some people have the paper boarding pass,
right?
But most people are using the app on their phone with the digital boarding pass. And Spirit, they want to grab your phone. They want you to hand them the phone so they can do it. My issue is that they are touching 100+ phones. I mean, you got an Airbus 320 or an Airbus 321. You got 150+ people on these planes. Ugh. Maybe 180 in some configurations. So can you imagine? We know from numerous stories over the years and tests that have been done, our phones are filthy.
Yeah.
There have been reports that your cell phone, your screen, your case, it's dirtier than a freaking toilet. The last thing I want is to get on an airplane. I'm doing the cheapy thing. I've got Spirit figured out. I'm going for a day or two. I can bring a small little carry-on, goes under the seat. I'm not paying Spirit extra for the bag. I'm not selecting a seat. I know how to game it and check in at the right time to get a seat that I want and not get stuck in the back in the middle. So I know how to operate. I know how to game the whole Spirit check-in system. I've been successful every single time. Haven't been burned once because I figured out the algorithm how to do it.
Yes.
So I'm in group 5. I'm in the last group. So I don't want the gate agent touching my phone and transferring germ mung from all of the other passengers. Anyway, take a look at the video. The video is on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. Does anyone think I'm nuts? Does anyone think I'm out of my mind, or you think that I have a very valid point?
I mean,
all right, you know what? I'll grab a call or two. We got to do this quickly, though.
Can two things be true at once?
800-990-100. You're saying they're not mutually exclusive?
I mean, you are nuts, and you do make a point.
Right.
I mean, crazy people are right sometimes.
800, what, like a clock being right twice a day? All right, 800-990-1047. All right, do you see my point here? So the Spirit agent at Fort Lauderdale on Sunday morning, he was very nice. I said, hey, do you mind if I scan this? He said, yeah, no problem. But I've had other Spirit agents, want to like grab the phone out of my hand.
No.
It's like, no, we've got to scan it. I'm like, but you've got poopy hands. You've touched 140 other phones before you touch mine. Don't touch my phone. All right, any thoughts on this? I think I am absolutely 100% correct here. I don't think I'm certifiably nuts. Listen, I'm a germaphobe on a couple of levels, and I'm sorry. I don't want you touching my damn phone after you touch 100 other phones with God knows what's on these other people's phones. All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Got a couple of minutes here to grab a couple of calls. Are you with Team MJ or are you not? Are you Team Spirit here? What team are you on? All right, 800-990-1047. One of our regular callers, Keenal in Wesley Chapel, first up. Hey, what's up? What do you think?
You definitely are a germaphobe, but you are not wrong, sir. I went to Vegas about a week and a half ago on Spirit, and they try to take my phone, and I'm like, no, I will scan it myself.
Yeah, the same thing, right?
Yep.
And listen, I'm not going to be honest. I've been happy with Spirit. I was anti-Spirit for so many years with their nickel and diming and everything. And then I flew Spirit because I needed to see my dad, and Spirit had a flight, and it wasn't that expensive. And you know what? If you stay within the box, you stay within their rules, and you know what to expect, Spirit is fine. I've been on there 10 times now, and I've been fine with it.
It is. I followed your advice in checking in, and I ended up with seat 14D.
Yeah.
It was aisle. I mean, for a Vegas flight, towards the end, I was getting a bit, antsy because I'm on the taller side. But
what are you like 6'4" and a volleyball player?
Yeah, she used to be in the circus.
I'm 5'8", sir.
All right,
Okay, I
okay.
need my leg room.
I got you. All right. So you heard me like a couple of months ago tell you how to game the Spirit check-in, right?
Yes.
And listen, so you've learned that MJ advice is pretty rock solid, haven't you?
I have, yes.
Yeah,
Every time you recommend a restaurant, I flag it on my Google Maps as an MJ recommendation.
Yeah. And they're always good, aren't they?
Sometimes I've disagreed with you.
What the? Goodbye.
Over here.
All right, hang on, let me get a couple calls in here.
Thanks, Phil.
Kristen in St. Pete. Kristen, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Fine. What do you think of the germaphobe question?
Well, I, for years, have always carried handy wipes with me to wipe that little table down, your handrails. So.
Listen, I carry the PDI hospital wipes.
Yeah, so for me, it's like whatever. I just let them do what they got to do, and I wipe everything down.
All right, but you understand what I'm saying, that you don't want the gate agent touching your phone after they touched 100 other phones?
I don't want anybody touching my phone, but, if they have to, I'm not going to be that person to cause a stink about it.
Well, I am. I am, Kristen. And listen, I don't cause a stink. I'm like, hey, do you mind if I just touch this myself? And some are like, give me your damn phone.
Give me now.
All right. EJ in Temple Terrace. Quickly, EJ, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, MJ, no, you're 100% right. As a matter of fact, I'm like 2 million miles on Delta, and I went to Vegas a few months ago on Spirit and did the same thing. And I'm like, why are you touching my phone? Don't touch that. People from Delta like, may I look at your phone? Maybe I can help you through it. So they'll look through the app, they'll do it. But no, I don't want somebody just, just wipe their nose and, wipe the booger on my screen. I don't need that.
Or how about a butt pick? And then, they touch the phone and then they're I don't want that. Hey, thanks for the call, EJ.
You got it.
All right, quickly, one last call. I gotta hurry here. Carlos in Tampa. Carlos, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Yeah, I feel like you too. It's 100% right. I don't like people touching my phone, especially even when I return something and they can't scan it. They don't even ask you, "Oh, can I touch your phone to use it?" They just grab it. My wife is 150% germaphobe. When I get home, she actually cleans my phone with Clorox wipes.
Oh, man.
Single day.
Thank you, Carlos. Have a great day. Thanks for checking in. All right, if you want to see the video that I shot at Fort Lauderdale Airport on Sunday morning with the agent touching everyone's phone to scan it as they're boarding the plane, go to my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. See the video, Certified MJ Radio. And if you don't follow me, give me a follow as well for amazing content like this. And check out all my other stuff. I got a lot of good stuff on there. Certified MJ Radio. Oh, this brings to a close an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. A lot more than an hour and 20 minutes. All right, Westfall Roofing. It is 9:02 at the MJ Morning Show. Yeah, I'm still talking to Fester about the Publix Super Bowl tie-in. Dude, I'm telling you, you take the stylized Publix lowercase, the green PUB, and then you match it with the official Super Bowl LIX for Super Bowl 59. Dude, how can Publix not be doing that?
I understand.
Maybe they don't want to fork over the licensing fee,
it's a lot of money,
dude. But how often do you have a Super Bowl Licks? How often do you have a Super Bowl LIX that works perfectly with? You could do like a whole pub sub promotion for the Super Bowl. I don't even think Publix advertise. I think
they buy local spots.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying that on our show.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, I pissed off Publix years ago.
Yeah.
I think with the
finger sandwich?
The finger sandwich when the deli guy lost his finger in somebody's meat at the Gandy Publix years ago.
If you want a TED Talk on how to hold a grudge, you should talk to some of those people at Publix. They know.
Meanwhile, more Publix employees listen to the MJ Morning Show than any other morning show because I hear from them all.
We had a Publix driver on yesterday.
Yeah, it's true. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. All right. As we move along on the MJ Morning Show here in the final hour, the 9 o'clock hour, I saw this yesterday. I'm like, wait a sec. Didn't we just do this like a couple of months ago?
What is it?
The lady that was busted for drugs with a bag that said definitely not a bag full of drugs. All right, wait a second. Andrew, can you walk me through this? Why is this back in the news? Is this the same woman? Oh, it's a different woman? All right. So, but it's Florida as well. Brevard County, a Central Florida woman was arrested over the weekend on drug possession charges for the second time this month, according to the Brevard County Sheriff's Office. During her most recent arrest, she was caught carrying drugs in a bag with the words, "Definitely not a bag full of drugs," printed on the side of it. Taryn Ackery, 31, of Melbourne, was booked into the Brevard County Jail on Saturday on several drug-related charges, including trafficking meth, possession of methamphetamine with intent to sell, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Yeah, she was arrested after deputies pulled her over in a vehicle which she was a passenger. The driver consented to a search of the vehicle, said, nope, nothing illegal should be inside. However, deputies discovered that Ackery had several bags with her. One of the bags had the label on the side, quote, "Definitely not a bag full of drugs." Well, she did have a bag full of drugs in the bag that said not a bag full of drugs.
All right, so the reason why this feels like deja vu.
Yeah, because there was a There was another story like
back in October.
October.
It was out of Oregon.
Oh, that was Oregon.
Yeah, so I pulled that story up.
All right.
Police in the U.S.
I'm like, this is like deja freaking vu or something.
They found drugs in a bag labeled definitely not
a bag full of drugs.
It was discovered in Portland, Oregon. Officers stopped the driver and the passenger. They were allegedly in a stolen car, and they had looks like cocaine, and a stack of cash, and a gun, all kinds of crazy things in this bag. But you can buy these on Amazon, or Etsy, or something like that.
You can buy like a canvas bag that has printed on the side, definitely not a bag full of drugs. Yeah, why don't you bring that to your kids' like open house at preschool or something?
Okay, that's fine because it definitely will not be a bag full of drugs.
All right, so that's why it sounded familiar. But this is a Florida woman. The last one from October that we talked about was Oregon.
I bet you we have 2 more this year.
Do you think people, after hearing the story, went out and purchased the definitely not a bag full of drugs bag?
I think it's a cute holiday gift for the drug dealer in your life.
Listen, we've got the washcloth in our bathroom that says, please don't do coke in our bathroom. And then Michelle's got a soap dispenser in our guest bathroom as well that says, wash your effing hands. Seriously. So you go to one of the guest bathrooms in our house, and it's got the please don't do cocaine little hand towel. Please don't do cocaine in our bathroom, and then wash your effing hands.
You know how many people had to do coke in that bathroom before Michelle said, I need a sign?
A couple of people I've worked with, I think, over the years. Yeah.
Maybe not a handful.
That's what I'm thinking.
More than a couple.
Why is this Tiger King dude? Why is he in the news like every other week with something new?
It's not him. It's the fact that the news talks about him because he is a clickbait king.
Oh my God! Yeah, the clickbait king. So Joe Exotic. Now he claims that 8 prison guards beat him up after one tried to force him to give him.
Joe.
Yeah, oral. And this is great. He gave an interview to Matt Gaetz.
He got a hold of him? I mean,
no. Matt Gaetz now does a show, like a show on a cable news channel, which is, pretty much off the rails. It's not, it's.
Matt Gaetz talked to Joe Exotic?
Yeah. Matt Gaetz does an interview with Joe Exotic. I would like Joe Exotic to interview Matt Gaetz about all the underage girls and everything.
I mean, like the guy, both of these guys are, have sketchy pasts.
Is that unbelievable? The man known as Joe Exotic from the Netflix, Tiger King, alleges he was beaten up and bloodied in a federal lockup when he refused to fulfill a guard's demand that Joe Exotic perform blank on him. Joseph Maldonado, a.k.a. Joe Exotic, appeared on former Florida Representative Matt Gaetz's TV show, The Matt Gaetz Show, on One American News, ONN. What a piece of garbage that is, to talk about his desire for a pardon.
And he didn't get one yet.
Well, Biden, I think, he's also hoping that maybe Trump will. Joe Exotic, you're not going to get a pardon from Biden on the way out, which you didn't. You're not going to get a pardon from Trump. Now, if you attacked police officers with a steel pole and, knocked an eyeball out, then maybe you would.
Different story.
Yeah, whole different story. Wow. But it just seems Joe Exotic. It's like every other week there's some crazy little twist in this guy's life.
I like that he's still in my life in some capacity. I mean, I wish the guy the best, even though he's in jail.
Hey, you know what? Dies. Speaking of the best, I wish the best to Marco Rubio.
Okay.
But you know what?
What a jump from Joe Exotic.
But hold on a minute. We don't do a lot of politics on this show by design. This is an entertainment show. I did the political thing for 22 years with my other program, and I don't miss it at all. But I just wanted to, say, good luck to Marco Rubio, as he was the first cabinet member already confirmed unanimously. 99-0. Unanimous. Why wasn't it 100-0? Because the vacancy left by J.D. Vance, who's now the
Yeah.
VP. That hasn't been filled. But if it were,
Did he vote for himself?
yeah. So Marco Rubio voted for himself.
That's a little cheeky.
in the confirmation process. But no, it just shows that Democrats and Republicans in the Senate have respect for Marco Rubio as the next Secretary of State, and he had a unanimous vote confirming his nomination as Secretary of State. So good for Marco Rubio, and he's a smart guy, he's a bright guy. So I think that he should do very, very well. So congratulations. All right, you hear about this? This is a warning. I don't know why it's taken this long to come out, but this is like 3 weeks now after the first of the year. I guess the investigation has had to be put together. But a guy right here in Florida, what do you know? A Florida man arrested 3 weeks after his grandmother was fatally struck with a bullet.
Oh.
Guess what happened? New Year's Eve, bullet, grandma, dead.
Was he celebrating like Iraqi wedding style?
Keep going. Yep.
And he's shot in the air.
Yep.
He shot a gun in the air. They come down,
What goes up must go down. Fired bullet. That was a song, wasn't it?
Pretty something like that.
Yeah. All right. Guy was arrested nearly 3 weeks after his grandmother was fatally struck by a falling bullet that he shot in the air. We're talking celebratory gunfire to welcome in 2025. And the bullet comes down and kills grandma. Carlos Manuel Tejada. What is it? I want to do it like the newscasters. Like you just, it's like normal English.
And then they have to really enunciate.
Then you got to Carlos Manuel Tejada. So 44 years old, charged with manslaughter by culpable negligence in the death of 56-year-old Carmen Rosa Niera Ochoa on January 1st. Poor Carmen. I feel awful. Carmen died. Ochoa was with her 2 adult daughters watching New Year's fireworks on the backyard patio of their home in Kissimmee.
That's awful.
Probably not far from the Florida Story motel. You know what I'm talking about? You ever see that movie?
No, I never saw the movie The Florida Story.
What was that? Was it Florida Story? Was that the name of the movie? Oh, that's a great movie. Oh, I got a couple of movie picks, by the way. Got a Florida Project. That's it right there. The Florida Project. What a great movie. Highly recommend that. And it was shot in Kissimmee.
Okay.
You know those cheesy hotels that the folks that want to stay more cheaply, they'll stay along there.
No, I've got roped into 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah, and in order not to spend all kinds of money on more expensive, Disney property or hotels. All right, so this guy fires a gun in the air, and the bullet comes down and kills grandma in Kissimmee. So she's watching fireworks, and then suddenly feels a sharp pain in her body, realized that she'd been shot.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Ochoa, who reportedly had 3 children, 2 grandchildren, was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital, despite life-saving measures. Tejada, who does not have a criminal history, is accused of firing off a gunshot in his backyard across a lake from where Ochoa was taking in fireworks on the screened-in porch. Investigators matched the round recovered from the victim with a gun taken from the suspect's home. 11 firearms recovered from the scene. What?
That's terrible.
Yeah, you don't fire a gun in the air. Classic example.
You hit your own grandmother.
You kill your own grandmother. First of all, how does that work out? Grandma's 56 and you're 44? Can someone help me with this math?
Hold on. Are we reading all the facts right?
Grandma's 56. Carlos Manuel Tejada, 44.
All right, I don't.
Cuatro.
I don't know the math.
4. I don't know. It's interesting. Anyway, so again, a public service: do not fire a gun in the air for celebratory reasons. Holy crap! Unbelievable. I need more time. I've got one thing about I got a wedding story, but I'm going to save that maybe for tomorrow because we got to go to phones on it, and I Probably need a little more time for that, is what I'm thinking. Let's talk movies for a second here. I mentioned
you have a couple of movie recommendations?
Yeah, a couple of things I saw. So I saw an item regarding Cameron Diaz's comeback movie. Have you seen this? It's been on Netflix now for a short time, and it's popping up on the main screen as a suggestion. Did you know that Cameron Diaz was back with a brand new movie, like first movie in like a decade?
No, I know that she kind of said enough of Hollywood and went away for a while.
Well,
but I didn't know she was back.
I think she probably needs some money now, and she's back. Why is Cameron Diaz back? You think she's run out of money?
No, I think, if you enjoy what you do and, you get over whatever pushed you away the first time, you come back.
So Cameron Diaz is back, and she's actually starring with Jamie Foxx. And it's like a husband-wife spy thriller. It's kind of like, I don't know, Jason Bourne, meets Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. With
Yeah.
Andrew, what do you like?
I've seen the trailer for it before.
All right. So listen, I watched it with my dad. So I'm over in Fort Lauderdale with my dad, who's, now my dad's out of the hospital. They have him at home, and he's in a hospital bed at home. My brother, who's a physician, found some guy that had a whole bunch of real hospital beds in some warehouse. So my brother bought like a real deal Hill-Rom hospital bed for like $500. Meanwhile, it's like a $25,000 bed. So Dad's home in a room in the house, so it's much better than the hospital. And so I was able to watch a couple of movies with Dad over the weekend, and we did watch the Netflix comeback movie for Cameron Diaz. It is called Back in Action. Yes, Andrew, why are you raising your
this
hand?
was the film during which Jamie Foxx had that medical occurrence.
Oh, hold on. Oh, so they had to stop filming?
Yeah.
And then they went back? Then once he recovered, he finished?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Because Jamie Foxx, he had that stroke and the brain bleed and the whole deal. Jamie Foxx almost didn't make it. It's almost like that guy Carlos shot him in the head.
That's terrible.
Kissimmee. All right, so I saw the movie. Is it going to win any awards? No. Was the movie cute and entertaining? Did I laugh numerous times because I thought that the scene or the dialogue was funny? Yes.
All right, that's a good barometer for a good movie.
All right. Is it going to win any awards? No, it's not. But the point is there is a big disparity between the Rotten Tomatoes audience score versus the critic score on this Cameron Diaz movie with Jamie Foxx. Well, Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz. So the critics have not been very kind to Back in Action, this brand new Netflix Cameron Diaz, Jamie Foxx movie. So as of at least last night, I don't know where it is now, the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes was 24%, which that is low. I typically, anything that's a 24% critic score, I don't walk, I run.
You know what? A lot of time the critics are wrong. They don't really know, I think, what normal people enjoy, just Netflixing and chilling.
Well, the audience score is 64%. So in this particular case, I can see why the critics gave it a 24%. But did I enjoy watching this movie with my dad and actually laughing? Was it a good, fun, kind of tightly put together, spy thriller comedy? Yeah. So I would recommend it. And I did enjoy the movie, but there's just a big gulf of America in between the critic score and the audience score. And it's Cameron Diaz's comeback movie, which, Fester, I'm guessing she needs the money. I'm guessing she needed the coin.
Nah, she's living off that something about Mary residual.
Oh, listen. Or what about the Jim Carrey? Yeah, The Mask.
That was her first movie. She probably wasn't paid much.
Yeah, you're right. But
all right.
Man, did she look good in that bank scene? Holy schnit.
Hey, so back to the previous story about the guy shooting off the gun on New Year's Eve and hitting grandmother.
Yeah.
They're not related. You made it sound like it was his grandmother.
Oh.
It was a Florida man arrested after a grandmother.
Wait a second. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Hold on.
I'm reading the headline. It says, Florida man arrested after grandmother killed by bullet shot in the air.
Oh.
It's not his grandmother.
Oh.
It's somebody's grandmother. It's not his. They don't know each other.
Oh.
They're on the other side of a lake like in a subdivision, and they're not
A
related.
Florida man was arrested nearly 3 weeks after
A grandmother.
Not his grandmother.
Right.
Oh.
So we're trying to do the math on the.
Never mind.
Right. Okay. So.
Well, still, the story it's a valid, pertinent story.
Right. Yes, but he didn't hit his grandmother.
Thank you for the clarification.
I just want to point that out.
All right, so I got boxed into it. For whatever reason, that's the way I read it.
Our deepest sympathies go with the Ochoa family.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, 9:21 at the MJ Morning Show on 104.7 FM. It's Q105. The final chunk of the MJ Morning Show is next here on a Tuesday. So I implore you, don't miss what is usually the best segment of the day.
Never mind.
We might need that a little more often, Andrew.
minutes away here on Q105 at 9:21. Need a garage door? 9:29 at the MJ Morning Show. Now, for the world to come to an end, do like all 9 planets have to line up, or will 7 do the trick as well? I'm waiting for all the, astrological slash astronomical, so combo platter. I'm waiting for all the freak bags to say, oh my God, 7 planets are going to line up in the sky next month. We're going to die.
How many of them can you see from the ground?
Well,
you can see Jupiter and Saturn and Mars.
Venus and Mercury.
Yeah, Venus and Mercury. Yeah, I guess that's a lot.
I think you can see.
I don't think I've ever seen Uranus.
Can you see? Come on, you stole my joke. Come on, man. You jumped the gun.
I don't think I've ever seen Uranus. I've been looking for years.
Right.
Wanting to see that thing.
28 February. Yeah, Mercury is going to join 6 other planets already visible in the night sky. It'll be Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune.
That's pretty cool. So last week was something cool where the moon ate Mars, or like the moon eclipsed Mars.
Really?
And I tried to go outside, but it was too cloudy.
But also, what's the latest on Pluto? Pluto was a planet, then it wasn't a planet, then it was a planet, then it wasn't a planet.
I think it's like a dwarf planet.
Yeah, are we back down to 8 planets now? Because, when I was in school, it was my very entertaining mother just showed us 9 planets. Remember that?
Oh, I had a fatter version of it.
What was yours?
My very educated mother.
Oh, you know what? That's what it was. I said entertaining. It was educated. Yeah, you're right. My very educated mother for Mercury, Venus,
Saturn,
Earth. No. My
Mercury, Venus, Earth,
Yes.
Mars, Saturn.
Showed us Uranus, 9 Neptune, FP planets.
Yeah, mine was like,
Yeah.
my very educated mother just served 9 pizzas. So-
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
that was it.
Oh, Andrew says that's the one he knew as well.
Yeah, my very educated mother just served 9 pizzas.
Yeah, that's not what I was taught.
But yeah, so Pluto is a dwarf planet.
Yeah, so they designated it as a dwarf planet. I was at the observatory where Pluto was discovered, which I believe
Is shut down now because it's not a planet.
if I remember correctly, it's the Flagstaff, Arizona Observatory is where Pluto was discovered.
Okay.
Back in 1930, I don't know. Well, let's see
Discovered by Clyde Tombaugh.
Yeah.
He lived till
19 he discovered 1930. And I think it was done. I think it was discovered at the observatory in Flagstaff, Arizona, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Unless I'm wrong.
We can look it up later.
Yeah. I know that I think some planet was discovered in Flagstaff. Anyway, so next month, 7 planets are going to line up. And, of course, the end of the world folks, I'm sure, are going to be coming to, the surface on this one. All right. Now, I didn't know this. Did you know that there's a rule against marijuana dispensaries being near convenience stores?
I knew there were. I thought I heard there were rules like being close to schools, maybe churches.
How about Circle K?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I didn't know this. This is from a website called Tampa FP.
Oh, yeah.
Is that like Tampa Free Press or something? I don't know if I've heard of this before. Yeah, Tampa Free Press. This came up in my feed. Green Thumb Industries. I was on Southdale Mabry recently. Well, I'm there a lot. But all right, let me rephrase that. I recently noticed something on Southdale Mabry. This is, let's see, just north of Kennedy. There are like 3 dispensaries in a row.
Yeah, you noticed all the dispensaries
It's like
there?
boom, boom, boom. It's
They're
like,
all in business.
Whoa, but I got to believe that the dispensaries for medical marijuana, they popped up en masse because
they thought the law was going to pass?
They were going to be, a money printing machine with recreational marijuana, which did not pass the referendum back in November. So you got all these, the density of the medical marijuana places in the last year. I mean, I've noticed like dozens as I drive around town. It's like, oh, that wasn't there. Oh,
Yeah.
that wasn't there.
Yeah,
Oh, that wasn't there.
You blink
Oh,
and it
that
comes,
wasn't there.
comes back as a dispensary.
Yeah, I ran into there was this Korean restaurant and sushi bar, which was on Southdale Mabry, in between like Kennedy Boulevard and 275. And they retired. They sold the building. And I ran into somebody. I can't remember who it was or where, but I ran into a guy that knew me or recognized me. And he said, yeah, I think it was in the restaurant business. And they were going to redo that old restaurant. And they were going to put in like a modern Korean barbecue. You ever been to one where they have like the grill in the middle of the table and you've got the big hoods and vents?
Yeah.
And
I might have been to one. I've never.
Listen, if you have good Korean barbecue, it's great. I love good Korean barbecue. Or as, hey, can you give me Ricky Martin, please? I need Ricky Martin.
I love it too.
Do you know what Ricky Martin I need? Andrew, put it on 18. When I'm talking about this, do you know what? Yes or no? I need Ricky Martin saying, I love the Korean meat. It's not quite as funny when I got a call.
He was doing a world tour, and he was in Korea, and somebody's like, what do you like best about Korea? And he's like,
I love the Korean meat.
I love the Korean meat.
I love the Korean meat.
Bet you do.
I love the Korean meat.
It's good stuff.
I love the Korean meat.
I love
Sure
it too.
you do.
I love the Korean meat.
Anyway, so a guy was supposed to put like a new Korean barbecue in there. And the next thing I know, it's a marijuana dispensary.
Deal fell through.
Something happened, but it was going to be this Korean barbecue place in South Tampa, and then boom, now it's a dispensary. And it's like some crazy name. And then next door, there's another dispensary.
Yeah, they're all
And
over,
then up the
man.
road, there's another dispensary. All right, but I did not know this. Green Thumb Industries, GTI, a Florida medical marijuana company operating under the Rise dispensary brand, is continuing its legal battle to sell cannabis alongside convenience stores. On Thursday, the company filed a notice to appeal a ruling by Administrative Law Judge Joshua Pratt, who upheld the Florida Department of Health's rejection of GTI's proposed dispensaries near Circle K locations. GTI announced plans in October 2022 to open 10 dispensaries adjacent to Circle K convenience stores across Florida as part of a test and learn phase. The project aimed to integrate medical marijuana sales with the convenience and accessibility of well-known retail locations, drawing significant national attention. So it's not a dispensary inside the Circle K. Well, like nearby or right next door. I didn't know this. However, Christopher Kimball, director of Florida's Office of Medical Marijuana Use, denied GTI's request for dispensaries in St. Petersburg, Orlando, and Ocala, citing noncompliance with state law. GTI argued that other medical marijuana dispensaries near gas stations or convenience stores had received approvals, and it accused Kimball of applying unadopted rules inconsistently. So I didn't know that this was even a situation, but why can there be dispensaries near other convenience stores and gas stations, but this company can't have them near Circle K?
Does Circle K have some kind of licensing agreement where they can sell that kind of product as well?
But then it does talk about a partnership. The potential partnership between GTI and Circle K has drawn national attention as a possible model for integrating cannabis sales into everyday retail settings.
I thought I remember hearing that Circle K maybe get involved in this business.
It does sound...
And then there's maybe a territory dispute?
It does sound familiar to me. You're right. So interesting. But the beginning of the story says dispensary near Circle K,
because
not in Circle K.
Because the Circle K location might have the contract, even though they're not executing it right now, but that they can't have a store within, a quarter mile or something.
It talks about possible model for integrating cannabis sales in everyday retail setting. So what's the deal here? You smoke the joint and you got to run into the convenience store and get some Funyuns?
No, you get it all at one time. You get a Polar Pop and pot.
So you know that you're going to be all munchied out good. So you get your
everything. You get your Polar Pop soda, you get your Funyuns, you get your Doritos, you get your Oreos, you get a couple of rolled joints. You just chief up at home, not in the car, because you don't want to drive like that.
Interesting. But I'll tell you what, these medical marijuana dispensaries, they open doors fast. And again, the whole recreational thing just did not come to fruition. All right, Fester, anything before we get out of here today? Do you have any must-hits that we did not discuss?
No must-hits. I think we did a really good job of covering everything. I hope Michelle feels better.
Oh, you know what movie I forgot to mention? When I was talking about Cameron Diaz and the Netflix movie, I meant to do this, half an hour ago. There was another movie that I watched with my dad that was great. See, I love just a great independent movie, not a big studio production with all kinds of CGI and all kinds of big stars. I love a great story, great cinematography. Listen, this can be, shot on a Sony FX3 for all I care, or, there've been some good projects shot on iPhones for crying out. But seriously, I saw a movie, I highly recommend this. And again, this is on Netflix. The stuff that's on Netflix that is just buried in there.
It's a trove of stuff.
It really is. It's unfreaking believable, the stuff that you've never heard of, the amount of material that's really, really good on Netflix. And I wonder if anyone has seen this. I was in Fort Lauderdale with my dad, and we watched a couple of movies over the weekend while he's out of the hospital. He's back home. I watched a movie called Emily the Criminal.
That's a movie.
And it was, yes, it's a feature film. Emily the Criminal, and it was great. Yeah, Aubrey Plaza plays Emily the Criminal, and it's just a unique story. It's great. When did this thing come out? Came out in, 2022? Yeah, Emily the Criminal is a 2022 American crime thriller written and directed by John Patton Ford in his feature directorial debut. It stars Aubrey Plaza as the titular character alongside Theo Rossi. Yeah, he was one of the biker guys, and he's got that face that, oh man, I know that guy. What has he been in? He was Theo Rossi. He was the bad guy in
Sons of Anarchy.
Well, so he was a motorcycle guy in Sons of Anarchy, but he was also just recently, he was the guy in the plumbing van. He was the accomplice of Jason Bateman in the Carry On movie on Netflix.
Okay.
So this Theo Rossi, you're like, oh man, I know that guy's face. I know that guy's face. I know that guy, but you don't know his name, but you know his face. But I'm telling you right now, if you want to see a great movie and you've got Netflix, which most people do, you know, Netflix has the most subscribers of any streaming services. If you want to watch something great and you haven't seen it, Emily the Criminal. Anybody in the final minutes of the show, anybody stumble across Emily the Criminal? Has anyone already seen Emily the Criminal?
I don't know. I might give it a watch tonight.
You know, I found it on, I just occasionally, hey, what are the best movies streaming right now? So I'll get, you know, like a whole bunch of stories that pop up. And I found the thing, like the 100 best movies streaming right now on Netflix. And I'm just scrolling through it. I'm like, oh, I saw that. Not interested. I saw that. Maybe I'll watch that with Michelle. And then I come across this Emily the Criminal. And, you know, my dad is like, oh, what'd you find? I said, I found this Emily the Criminal. My dad said, oh, let's watch that.
Did Dad like it?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was fantastic. Anybody watch this? In the final minutes, 800-990-1047.
I don't know.
Anybody? 800-990-1047. Has anyone seen Emily the Criminal, which you can stream on Netflix? I'm telling you right now, take my advice. It was refreshing. It was entertaining. It was well acted. It was tense. There were moments of like, oh, man, I mean, you're on the edge of your seat. It was just great. And it's just like a down and dirty independent film with no fancy production. You know, for me, give me a great story. And this is a great freaking story and well acted. And Andrew's screening a couple of calls before we get out of here. 809. So another MJ movie recommendation, Emily the Criminal on Netflix.
I'll be sure to check it out, man.
Also, Rebel Ridge. Did I mention Rebel Ridge? That was also really good. Yeah, hang on. Elizabeth is on hold here in Dunedin. Elizabeth, MJ Morning Show. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hey, how's it going?
Going well.
Okay, so Emily the Criminal, you are spot on. Such a good movie.
When did you find Emily the Criminal?
So listen, so I love Aubrey Plaza, so I just searched movies that she's in,
Right.
and it popped up. And, it was nothing like I expected, but it was so good. So good.
I mean, they were running a racket, the whole scam, and then the way the movie ends. I mean, the whole thing, the whole damn thing was engaging. It was just, I thought it was a phenomenal film.
So good. And the ending, like you said, it's nothing like you expect. Not going to give anything away. But if you're looking for a good movie and, you don't want to know what happens at the end, watch it.
Yeah. Emily the Criminal. And then one other movie that I saw recently, which is not streaming yet. It just came out in theaters over Christmas. But I'm a part of SAG-AFTRA, so I have access to all the digital screeners for the SAG-AFTRA Awards. I watched The Brutalist. And again, wow. I mean, what an amazing movie. It's you got to commit half a day to this thing because it's 3.5 hours long. But if you get a chance to see The Brutalist, Elizabeth, go see The Brutalist as well, okay?
I definitely will. One more movie that she's in.
Yeah.
My Old Ass that just came out with Aubrey Plaza.
Hold on, my
Highly
old
recommend
ass.
that.
My old ass. I saw a trailer for that.
Hold on, my old ass.
Yes, like
My Old Ass. Yes, it just came out in the theaters a couple months ago. So good.
ASS, my old ass.
Yes, exactly.
My Old Ass. Yes.
Can you say it one more time, please?
My Old Ass.
All right.
Thank you, Elizabeth. You're great.
All right, Elizabeth, have a great day. Thanks for listening.
That's fantastic.
All right, you too.
We got to roll. I thought I misheard her, but it's my old.
I mean, she said it 24 times. Each time it was the same.
It was funny every time, too.
Every time.
Every single time. All right, we gotta cruise. 9:47 at the MJ Morning Show brings to a close another spectacular episode here on the Tuesday, the day after in America. All right, folks, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Michelle will be here tomorrow. Michelle was supposed to be here today, but man, her face was rough after she had her fractional laser skin treatment. But I'll tell you what, when it all heals up in like 3-4 days or so, 5 days, her face is as smooth as a baby. Speaking of ass, my baby ass. Yeah, that's Michelle's face coming up in a couple of days.
You're putting your face on babies' asses, you weirdo.
All right. We'll see you back here tomorrow. MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM, and let's be careful out there. Hey, start 2025 with insanely clean carpets from Zero Res. Call to get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129.